Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop onto these charts on this beautiful Thursday, February 5th, 2026, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you always do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top of Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Chat, what's going on, guys? How are we doing this morning, man? How are we doing this morning? Back at it with another early live stream. We are here. It is 7:41 a.m. Eastern. We are well ahead of NYSE Open. Gonna get after it here today. Let's see who we got in chat. DG Finance, Dwayne, good morning, good morning. Tanner Tyranux, I don't know, dude, you guys, your names get crazier. Every time I hop on here, they get crazier. I'm also an idiot, so Casino X, what's up? Muhammad, let me actually try. ASFX 49, I got you. Sir Lunchalot 1991, good morning. Cyrus 7393, good morning. Fast Money Formula, that's the easiest one on here. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. You could say Tarun? Or is that like, am I even pronouncing that right? Tarun? Is that like, I don't even know. Appreciate you guys hopping on. As always, man, we're going to be taking a look at these markets. We're going to be getting some trading in. We got a couple things to talk about here today, guys. Got a couple things to talk about. We got another prop firm shutting down. We have metals being limited across now multiple prop firms. We got quite a bit to talk about on this stream, man. But we're going to start by doing, like we did yesterday, we're going to start by doing some analysis on YM. I really enjoyed, although I went no trade at all yesterday on YM. I took a handful of trades with you guys on NQ. I really enjoyed getting set up pre-market with you, like kind of running through really like how I start my day on here to take a look at YM and, you know, get situated, create a little bit of an understanding of the context. I don't love to say bias. Like, I think, like, you know, when people say create a daily bias, they are saying I'm only going to go long, or I'm only going to go short, right? I don't really like to do that. Maybe that helps some people, but it doesn't really help me. Let's go ahead and throw a position tool first thing, right? We are going to use the fixed range volume profile right here. I broke down my whole chart yesterday. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask, man. These are longer live streams. We're going to run them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, all the way through NYSE Open. So if you guys have trading questions, you have prop firm questions, you got questions about whatever, so long as it's somewhat relevant, I'm happy to talk about it. Sometimes I get asked ridiculous questions. But taking a look at YM, since yesterday I was trading NQ, really a beautiful respect of these zones. You could go back and check me and say, oh, Zach's drawing zones after the fact. He just goes on there and he draws these levels that, you know, he just makes them look really good. This was here and this was here. Now, had I only just said, you know what, I'm going to blindly trade level to level yesterday, I would have cleaned up. We traded cleanly from the middle of these zones, 500 points off of each one. Really, really beautiful. Overall, really choppy, right? Overall, really choppy back and forth here on YM. Really staying in the high end of what I would consider this really big back and forth range we've been in since the beginning of the year. We are, you know, putting in some of these lower highs. I did see Brian in the main Discord throw a trend line right here to show this breakout. We could be setting up for the move to the upside. Could definitely be setting up the move to the upside, right? Like I said yesterday, you know, I don't think we're going to stay here for forever. We're probably going to break to the upside or downside. When we do, are we just going to sweep the high or the low? Are we going to come outside of the range and come right back in? Are we going to continue to the upside? You know, it's always out for debate. So take a look at this overnight session here, and then what we got coming up for news we'll talk about. Look at the daily chart, right? Look at the higher time frame trend, and then kind of frame some potential trades right into the open, or even something pre-market on YM if it looks really, really tasty. I don't really love to do that because then you're stuck holding into the open, which can just be a nightmare. Yeah, let's start on the daily. Let's take a look at this daily candle range. Let's take a look at this trend, right? I'd still argue higher time frame trend to the upside, although we are starting to get pretty damn choppy up here, chat. We're kind of chopping around up here. I don't love the way that this looks, okay? About a 300-point range. Looks like we're getting ready to try to push this low. 279-point range here for this candle through Asia, London, and into pre-market right now, about 7:45 a.m. Eastern. Almost 2 hours ahead of NYSE Open. Kind of choppy, balanced back and forth. We've really just been dancing around VWAP. We did sweep this high over here, and now we're coming all the way back down to this, prior pre-market low, right? This Asia-London low. Looks like we want to go and push that to the downside right now. We did test yesterday's volume point of control, so we don't have a naked volume point of control today, meaning an untested volume point of control that I might want to trade to or from. Yeah, kind of interesting. Kind of choppy, kind of back and forth. Not much to be said about this Asia-London session by way of trend or sweeping a high or a low as far as breaking above yesterday's high or yesterday's low. We really haven't done that. I'm interested to see if we start to sell off aggressively here, which it looks like we might want to do, where we might go. Yeah, yesterday I got rid of those two lines up here. Yesterday, zones respected really cleanly. Had I just traded from prior day zones and, right in here would have worked dicey. I was waiting for a crack above or below, this area here, right, coming outside of the thirds high, kind of outside of these highs a little bit. Didn't quite get that. Or even a push lower down into this, really big high volume node, multiple volume points of controls from prior day. Today, I'm gonna have to say I want to see what happens here. I'm not gonna frame a trade yet because it looks like we want to move. So just swept this pre-market low. Let's see if we pop right back up. Let's see if we continue the downside. I'm gonna stay a little bit patient to see what happens for pre-market here before I start framing out my trades on YM. I still want to look to get an understanding of what we might see today coming into the end of the week here. But I don't want to say I'm looking just for rangy, choppy trades. I don't want to say I'm looking for trending trades. Overall on YM, I do really like the mean reversion style trade. I love this back to VWAP type of trade right off the open. Fading the initial drive to the downside, fading the initial drive to the upside, right back to the middle ground. But let's see what we get today. Let's see what we get today, man. We're going to stay patient on YM. But yeah, overall, I'm coming in pretty unbiased as far as the context of, the conditions that we're in. Chopping up here near all-time highs. We are pretty damn close. If we start to take off at any point, towards that high, I would be cautious of trying to fade a really, really big bullish movement to the upside. So far, kind of choppy. We got the middle ground of this area. I think another level that we might want to test is right in here. Before we potentially take off. I could definitely see that. It's the middle ground of all of this. We got close yesterday, but I could see another clean out down here, right into the 49,130s. I'd see that as a pretty important level, if not all the way back down towards 49,000 even. But yeah, I'm going to trade this within this choppy, rangy area until we do this, right? Until we do one of these. We get outside and we go, hey, you know what? We're gone. Now I say, okay, we're outside of all of this. We're outside of this back and forth choppy range, right? Where this is the kind of top end, this is the middle ground, this is the low, but we've really formed this as, kind of the low for the most part. Until we get outside of that completely and really say, confirm closures above or below, right? Until we really come down here violently and we don't just turn right back up like we did here and here. Till we really come outside and start closing below here, breaking and retesting. Then I say, okay, now let's look out below. Now we're looking for, maybe big continuation shorts extension on the downside. Until we really start to do that, I'm going to take trades within here all day, no problem. But I'm going to be cautious targeting an extension of that, right? An extension of this range. So that's thoughts on YM to get the morning started. Chat. Good morning. I don't need a new thumbnail, man. Thank you, though. Was a good stream yesterday. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you, pre-market roller coaster for me right now. Yeah, it was for me yesterday. I mean, it wasn't much of a roller coaster. It was just a straight shot down. But we're going to see what we can do today, man. What I want to do in a minute after I get NQ looked at on here, which is my prime chart, I want to see if I can get a Tradeovate account connected to TradingView so I can trade on TradingView with you guys. I want to see if I could test that. I know most of you are off of Project X. I will be off of Project X pretty damn soon. I want to get over to a Tradeovate TradingView chart. I want to talk about dragging out stops and targets. We were talking about that yesterday, and I figured that'll be a good use of time to just kind of play around with trading straight from a TradingView chart. I'm probably either going to have to do that in an eval or a funded. Yeah, I'm gonna do. I can do it in a funded account that I'm not gonna take a payout from, at least yet. So, but yeah, we'll be able to load up a TradingView chart with TradingView. So we'll do that. You look like Maury from Stranger Things. I don't know who that is, but thank you. Can you explain your trading strategy, quick and simple? Yeah, so lunch a lot. I'm gonna explain my trading strategy, quick and simple, right? And this is really what I do, Sir Lunch a lot, and anybody listening. This is really what I do on anything that I trade. Like the core that I'm about to say right here, this remains. I apply it differently to different markets, to different instruments, right? If I'm swing trading, stocks and options, if I'm trading YM. Maybe if I'm trading NQ on lower time frames, I'm applying it, somewhat differently. Outside of this really super high frequency scalping approach, sometimes that I continue to come back to try on the fast moving indices. Outside of that, this is really the scope. I am a discretionary trader, primarily focusing on price action, market structure, volume, and order flow. The basics of how I trade are marking out areas of interest on the chart. You can call them levels, zones, so you might go as far as to call them support and resistance, supply and demand, order blocks. I don't care. I will just call them areas of interest based on price action, market structure, volume, and order flow. And I look to trade to and from those levels utilizing price action and order flow and volume primarily to decide when to get in and when to get out. At those levels, at and around those levels, what I really look to do is structure risk in what I believe is a favorable way. Not just based on the direction that I think price is going to move, but the opportunity at hand. I look to be a risk manager first. That's the whole overview, right? And that might sound vague. That's not that you might say like that's not a strategy, Zach. That's the strategy. That's the whole thing, guys. A big portion of it is utilizing my discretion built through thousands of hours on the charts, right? The same way it is for pretty much every profitable trader. If you said, okay, Zach, narrow down on the 15-minute chart during NYSE Open, define that a little bit clearer. Perfect. I'm happy to do that. Here's what I do on YM, just what I did coming into the Open. First, I want to zoom out on a higher time frame. I want to identify the overall trend. Are we in a very strong bullish market? Are we in a very strong bearish market? Are we in a bullish market and chopping near all-time highs in this kind of weird range that we're putting in? Kind of the context for today. Where are we at based on yesterday's volume profile? Have we swept prior day's high and came all the way back down towards the low? Are we breaking out? Are we 600 points to the upside? These are different setups coming into the day, right? Are we chopping back and forth like we are today? I'm going to describe today, where we've tested yesterday's volume point of control, but we haven't swept yesterday's high or low. But we're trending back down towards the downside here within this overall big choppy range. Based on that context, I will approach each day slightly differently, right? I don't know that I want to look for a mean reversion short on a day where we've broken out to the upside by 800 points. I probably don't. I want to probably wait for a break and retest. Still, area of interest to area of interest. Look to structure risk at this area of interest in my favor. But on a day like today, I might look more for a mean reversion style trade off of the Open. What does that mean? At the Open, YM may, you can do whatever it want, but it may push to the upside or push to the downside, right? Like this. It may push to the upside and then revert back to the mean, back to this area of high volume consolidation, price action, market structure, and volume, VWAP, yesterday's volume point of control, right? I might look to try to capitalize on that move off of a level of interest that I've marked off of price action, market structure, and volume, right? So that's the full scope, right? That's the full scope. It's incredibly simple. It's really stupidly simple. Again, a lot of nuance goes into that, and that's built through experience, right? That's built through time on the charts, as it is with whatever tools you use. Maybe just to expand on it just a little bit further before we hop over to NQ, I might try to take more of a continuation style trade. I try to only label these. They're very similar, but I try to label them so you guys can differentiate a little bit of what the hell I'm doing. I may try to take a continuation trade where maybe price action doesn't look like this. Maybe we've done this, right? And then at the open, we do this, and we're doing this. I might look to take a continuation trade, meaning not a mean reversion trade, right? I might look for a continuation in the direction that price is moving to the upside or to the downside, right? But same basic, rules apply. Level to level, area of interest to area of interest, utilizing price action and market structure first, price and time first, as well as volume tools and a little bit of order flow on the left-hand side, which you can see from Bookmap. Again, that like fundamental approach to the markets, that fundamental approach to trading is what I apply to everything that I do. Now, in swing trading stocks, I use a little bit different tools. I might look to trade those in a little bit different way. There's not much mean reversion trading, there. It's identifying strong trends and trading for continuations with that trend. But, the same ideas apply. Low time frame, super low time frame on NQ, even all the way down to scalping, same rules apply, right? So I hope that helps. I think watching me trade live, you can kind of identify the way that I'm trading. But it is important to note that me and any other trader, any other person that streams, anybody that has a system that is not coded into a bot or an algorithm, 100% objective. Anybody that doesn't have that is a discretionary trader. Whether they want to tell you that they have mechanical rules and all of these things, that's awesome, bro. If it's 100% mechanical and 100% systematic, code it into a bot or an EA and go F off. You don't need to be here. If you're not going to do that, you're applying your discretion. You're applying your subjective interpretation of when to do a number of things. When to hit the buy and sell button, where to put stops and targets, where to draw your zones, right? These are discretionary levels on my chart. So I think it's really important to note that, because you can't take that. You could get the idea, you get the concept, but you can't have anybody else's discretion by definition. You can't have my experience. You don't have my perception of the market of these tools that I'm using, right? You have to build that yourself. There is no shortcut. You cannot pay for that. You can't buy it from anybody else. So there's a big portion of trading, right? That is that. Now, again, the whole other back end piece of this and the real side outside of the strategy itself, psychology and mindset. Are you able to just stop trading after a couple losses? Are you able to stop trading after a couple wins? Are you able to survive to live to fight another day? Can you structure risk consistently? Outside of the strategy itself and actually creating an edge, which is important, that's where most traders are just blowing it. So, but you asked about strategy, so hopefully that gives you a full scope. Again, 100%, and this is, I'll finish with this. 100% objective, rules-based strategies, in my humble, biased opinion, don't work, okay? If they did work, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be hanging out on a beach, or maybe rock climbing, or maybe racing motocross, or going on a run, or spending time with my family, my wife, my parents, my sisters, my nieces. I wouldn't be here right now, right? I've tried that in the past, spent a lot of time and money. And if you figure out something that works, I don't know that you would want to share it, but you can go and do that, right? So if you operate with the belief that that doesn't work, you go, okay, I need to apply my discretion. I need to apply my subjective interpretation of this, right? I have to utilize my, can I get rid of all of these at once? I have to utilize, my subjective interpretation of price action. Where can I write that in, right? Where do I want to have my rules? How do I want to, how do I want to keep myself in line so I'm not doing something completely different day over day? But how can I apply my experience, right? To say, hey, I've seen this before, I'm going to go for it. Or, hey, based on the context of what we have going on in these markets, I'm not going to go for it. Or, hey, this trade doesn't look like it's working out, I'm going to clip it early, Or, hey, this trade's running, we have an insane amount of momentum and volume today, I'm going to hold on to it longer. That's discretion. That's built through experience. Don't be fooled to let somebody tell you that you don't need that. So real quick, before I hopped over to NQ, and I think I'm going to try to load up TradingView today, guys. I think I'm going to load up. It's not exactly what I want to trade just account-wise, but I think I'm going to load it up so we can play around with dragging out stops and targets for market orders. We can talk about trading on TradingView. I've heard a lot of people have complaints or just different things, so I want to do that with you guys. It's part of scalping and trading more across different firms on different instruments. But today we do have unemployment claims coming up in 30 minutes. That is a pretty big heavy hitter. Let me just make sure we don't have anything else. Let me just make sure we don't have anything else. And again, guys, remember, I don't have it all figured out. I'm always happy to tell you this. I don't have it all figured out. I don't claim to be a genius. I don't claim to be anything. I just trade live and show you what that looks like for me. I think I've got some juice based on my results, but you can decide that for yourself. You can form your own opinions about this stuff. You can say, nah, Zach, you're wrong. Bots are great. I never have to trade manually. I just set it and forget it. Maybe that works for you. Looking at financial juice here, guys. 8:30 a.m. U.S. Initial jobless claims. Jolts at 10. So we do have some news. We do have some news coming up. All right. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Get rid of both of those. So let me go ahead and try to get this loaded up here. Give me a second, guys. Let me load up a. Yeah, let me load up an account on TradingView. Just bear with me here. I should have done this already, but I wasn't really planning on trading off of a TradingView chart with Tradeovate, but that's what I'd like to do. I'll load up Tradeovate, I'll load up TradingView, and I'll scalp there from TradingView because I want to talk about the using the tools on TradingView to trade, specifically how to drag out stop loss and take profit orders from market orders, which is what a lot of people like to do on Project X that a lot of people think that you can't do on TradingView, which you can, and I'd like to display that. Yeah, let me just load up something fresh. Hang on, guys. Hang on, guys. Hang on, Chatty McChat. Yeah, because I don't want to use the top 1 futures stuff that I have because I don't need to do that today. Let's see. Great conversation so far, though, guys. Good questions. Yeah, I'm gonna load up a. This is gonna be an eval. This is gonna be a take profit trader eval. Some of the stuff I'm working on the back end. And I'll load up something fresh. This way, I don't care. We can take a couple trades. I can take some wins, losses. I can blow it today, and we can not worry about it. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for this to allow me to log in, while I'm trying to get this to log in, update on the live schedule with you guys. Obviously, I'm here early with you. Today is Thursday. We are starting 7:30 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. No live streaming Friday, Monday, and next Friday. I don't know that I'm going to run this indefinitely. I probably won't run it indefinitely. I don't know that I will. But it's been fun to do some pre-market streams. It's been fun to utilize my time a little bit differently with you guys on here. And I'm happy to do that. And just so you know, just because we started 7:30 doesn't mean we end at 8:30. We're going to run all the way into NYSE session. You know, 3.5, 4 hour stream. You can hop on whenever you want. Hop off whenever you want, obviously. Real Deal Futures on YouTube. Real Deal Zach on Kick, X, and Instagram. If you want to watch what I got going on in my personal life outside of just these damn charts, which I know a lot of you guys do like to see what the hell's going on with everybody, I'm going to drop this link in chat, man. I got some cool stuff coming up this week. I also put a ton out on other socials. I put a lot of content out on, where is Instagram? On Instagram, as well as here on YouTube, as well as on X. I don't do as much. I really just stream there. But here you go, guys. I know I trailed off on what I was doing. But if you want to follow on IG, you'll see everything I got going on and where I'll be tomorrow. Got some cool stuff coming up this weekend. All right, can I get logged in here, man? Come on. Come on, chat. There we go. There we go. And this way I'll know if Trade-O-Vate's having an issue. Hopefully no more issues out of Trade-O-Vate. I did see that a lot of you guys had issues yesterday with Trade-O-Vate. All right. Now. We are logged in. All right. Sorry, guys. This is being a pain in the ass for me, man. Let me go back to the markets while we're watching this. This is being a pain in the ass. Why, man? Why is this messing with me? All right. Okay, now we're good. Damn, man, it's taking a minute. I had too many saved Trade-O-Vate and TradingView logins, so it wouldn't allow me to log in. Can I actually get this rolling here, man? There we go. Trade-O-Vate. I logged in with the wrong username and password multiple times. Let's try this. Aha. Haha. All right. Now we're in. Now we're in, chat. Make sure we're on the right account here. Damn, sorry guys. Didn't mean for this to turn into something different here. God, man, this took forever. Sorry, guys. All right. Now, now, let's talk about what we got going on here. We are logged in to a Trade-O-Vate eval on TradingView. We are trading directly from TradingView here. We are going to trade a Trade-O-Vate. This is an eval account. This is a prop firm eval account. I'm doing an eval account because I want to intentionally take 47 trades with you guys, and you know, if you're gonna take a bunch of trades for demonstration, you're probably not gonna take the best trades ever. I'm gonna try to take good trades. I'm gonna try to actually apply some scalping approach here. to make some damn money and not to intentionally blow an eval. But for the purposes of demonstration, I don't mind doing that. But I do have skin in the game since it is an eval, albeit a cheap one. All right, here's what we wanted to talk about. Chat, what's going on, man? You guys were talking a lot. Good morning, Zach and everybody. No way. Simple but not easy. Thank you a lot. You know your stuff. I think it's also a feeling for YM. Yeah, it's a feeling for all of it. We were talking about strategy. We were talking about approach. It's a feeling for all of it, guys. But yeah, I appreciate it. That's just, what works for me. I do believe 100% mechanical strategy exists, but that shouldn't be executed by a human, but a computer. Yeah, I don't believe it exists. I don't believe that 100% mechanical, objective, rules-based strategies work, especially consistently, long-term, without constant intervention, right? If they did, I wouldn't need to be here, and nobody would need to be here at all, right? We would just figure that out. And let me rephrase that. I don't think they exist at the retail level where we will get our hands on them. They certainly exist. There are, tons and tons and tons of algorithms that run fully mechanical, right? Not at our level, not at the retail level, right? Not something that we're going to buy online for $100 or $500 or even more than that. But again, that comes just from multiple areas. We could talk about this. If you guys want to talk deeper on that, I can go into more detail and I can share more experience and more perspective that I have, conversations that I've had that I can back up with actual, information and not just speculation and what I'm talking about, my own personal experience, because I think a lot of traders get stuck there, and that's why I don't mind talking about it. I was stuck there for a long time, so I'm happy to chat with you guys on that. Early morning, bro. Absolutely. I'm really liking TV with Tradeovate. It's smooth, and since you told me how to create bracket orders, I have zero complaints. Awesome. Take Profit Trader is not doing my KYC, and their customer support is horrible. Huh? That's not good. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about that, man. I'm running some eval. I've just started trading some evals with them. Like I said, I'm going to be trading multiple firms across multiple platforms, not only to get experience, but to also just go on a on a run with prop firms as I am honing an edge in different time frames, different instruments, different times of the day. Something that I want to work on with you guys. So, going to spread risk like that. Trading early today in ES long, cooking for a reversal play. How do you deal with 50% consistency rule? I love to let my winners run for the whole day. Do you close trades early? Do you go big? AJ, what's up? Yeah, man, I would. I'm gonna get some trading in on this. These are good questions. I would say if you are a holder, if you're if that's just your style, I would probably look for an account that doesn't have a 15% consistency rule. I would probably look for an account that is a higher consistency in funded, maybe at least a 20%, if not, no consistency with like a minimum trading days. A consistency rule is not going to work for every trader. Like that's just a fact, and if you're somebody that is like, hey, I have an edge in the market, but I cannot deal with the consistency rule at all. I have a really, low win rate, high risk to reward. I lose 7 out of 10 trades, but the 3 out of 10 that, that I win are massively outsized winners. You might not do well with a consistency rule, right? That might not be an option for you, like at all, but how you would deal with it if you wanted to try, you would need to adjust. You would need to adjust to pull back on that, man. You would need to set your personal daily loss limit, personal daily profit target, roughly, right? If you want to be serious about the account, and then go from there. But guys, I am here on NQ. I want to get some trading in before market opens up. I want to demonstrate some of the stuff. Again, I am logged in, as you can see. Can you see this down at the bottom? No, you can't see it down at the bottom. Here, I'll move the screen up. I am logged in without messing my whole stream up. I am logged in a Tradeovate account here to trade on TradingView with prop firms, something that I talked a lot about doing. And this is primarily what you're going to see me do even with my Top 1 Futures Live account once I get kicked over to Tradeovate. Tradeovate and NinjaTrader and TradingView. So taking a look at NQ, man, a little bit different structure. Then YM. YM, you know, sitting up here in yesterday's daily range. NQ has pushed to the downside really aggressively, broken the low, and now has swept and kind of found some buyers here. Looking at the book, very, very thin right now on NQ. But I am going to watch book map as well. We'll look to take some scalpy-ass trades on this one. Dropping down to the 1 minute chart. And again, this is the exact same setup that I have on Project X. This is just session volume profile. Instead of having a fixed range volume profile where I actually draw it, this just automatically does it. The only difference is you automatically get the one that plots throughout the day, which is actually kind of nice. Visible range volume profile, VWAP, volume down on the bottom. You know, essentially the same setup. Pretty much the same colors as well outside of that session volume profile. So, let's talk about this, and let's get some demonstrations going, guys. Morning, Zach. I appreciate all the help and info. I'm about to buy a funded account. What platform do you think is best to trade with since Project X is no good anymore? Yeah, this right here. This is what I will be with, right? At least this is what I'll be working on for now. And again, guys, like, this space changes quickly. We need to talk about, I want to get some trading in, but we need to talk about prop firms shutting down. We had another one shut down yesterday. We need to talk about metals being limited, gold, silver, platinum, you know, natural gas, copper. We need to talk about this stuff. And I'm going to trade right now. My game plan is to trade Tradeovate and TradingView. But I'm saying that because I don't know if that's what I'm going to stick with. I don't know if that's what I'm going to love, right? Or I don't know if over the next couple months I get on this from Project X, primarily over the last couple years, you know, for intraday futures at least, and I say, you know what, man, I want to try something else. You know, the Quant Tower, I want to figure out, not that I can really run Quant Tower because I'm a Mac guy, but, you know, I want to try something else. Maybe the firms are going to offer something through Rhythmic or Motive Wave or whatever it is. But for now, what my preferred, connection is going to be Tradeovate, aka Tradeovate Prop, with TradingView. Sometimes I'll trade directly from a Tradeovate chart. Sometimes I'm going to trade directly from a TradingView chart logged in like this. I think it's just going to depend on what exactly I'm doing. I'm going to test doing both, right? Trading and executing from TradingView like I'm about to do right now with you guys. But I'll keep you updated, right? I'll keep you updated. I'm in the same boat with this transition as you guys, you know? So, that's what we're going to talk about right now, and we're going to look at, because Project X is cooked with all firms. Tradeovate is also available at almost all firms, so like maybe a couple firms have Rhythmic, maybe a couple firms have, you know, a less popular platform. You might pigeonhole yourself, right? Like, we're kind of forced onto the main platform because it's not available, unless you say, I'm done with prop firms altogether, I'm going to my own live brokerage account, and I'm going to trade with, you know, Motive Wave, or I'm going to trade straight from a bookmap chart, you know, or another order flow software or something, which you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, we're on their turf. I made a reel about that yesterday. We're playing with their ball on their turf. So, all of that said, there's multiple ways to open up the order card over here, which I had, but I wanted to take it off right off the bat. So once you're logged in, you can come down here on the bottom and click on trade, which will open up the trade order card over here on the right-hand side. You can also just click buy and sell, and as long as you don't have one-click trading on, which you would need to make sure, it opens up the order card over here. Now, I have a setting turned on that you guys might not know about. I definitely not going to want to buy 4 minis. I have a setting that you guys might not know about that's allowing me to drag out, take profit, and stop loss orders here. Yay! Yay! Let's go ahead and get rid of that. What is that setting? If you come over here by right-clicking on the chart, let me do it here. Come over here by right-clicking on the chart and coming down here to settings, or going all the way up here and just clicking on settings. But I'm going to right-click, go to settings, and come over here to trading. Come down here, and you can turn this setting on. Project order for market orders. Shows a project order on the chart before sending a market order. That allows you to drag out, take profit, and stop loss orders. You could also change a whole bunch of settings on here, and, you know, kind of customize it to your liking. But I know this is a big one that traders want on here. One thing I will note is I believe you do have to do this before you place the order. I believe once you place the order, you're not able to drag out, take profit, and stop loss orders, even if you have that and you're logged in on Tradeovate. but I will test it with you guys today. I will put a trade on with no take profit and no stop loss, and maybe blow an account just to find out if I could drag out a take profit and a stop loss order after the fact. You can also do this with limit orders, stop limit orders, right? You can also come in here and just physically enter it, right, on the chart if you wanted to, by ticks or by price. You could say, yeah, I want a take profit order at 24,850, right? Right there. Like, that's exactly where I want it, above these highs. And I want a limit order down here, right? But nice, you know, really custom settings that you can do with TradeOvate, with TradeOvate and TradingView here. I also really like that it shows you, so you could just really be dumb with it if you want and lazy. It shows you, you know, how much risk you're about to have on, right? Where Project X, you technically were not able to do that. You had to do it in the risk settings. You could do it custom. I could say, like, well, I know I want to get in long here, and I want to have, for example, you know, $2,000 worth of risk on. Okay, I could drag that out, and then maybe I increase my, you know, units, my contract size to 2, and that's going to allow me a stop loss right there, right? And I take profit up here, right? So kind of some cool stuff there with TradingView. But let's go ahead and throw an order on. I think I'm going to run this on. I think I'm going to run this on MNQ. This way I don't get absolutely cooked. And I don't blow the account immediately. So I'm over here on the micros. This is a 50K eval. I'll trade it aggressively. I don't care if we lose multiple accounts in a day. We can do it for the culture, but I just wanted to see if this chart looks exactly the same. Yeah, we're good to go. All right. I had some zones marked on the mini chart. I'm not going to waste time in marking on this chart. But let's go ahead and trade. Let's go ahead and trade micros here. Maybe we go ahead and throw a 5 micro trade on. One thing I want to see is, I know we can drag out stop loss and take profit. I want to see if you're easily able to adjust it. Let's do it with, like, lighter than that. I want to see if you're easily able to adjust it, meaning I put the market order on. I have a corresponding take profit and stop loss. Am I easily able to drag and drop them once I'm in? And then I also want to know if I just mark it in, for example, am I able to drag out take profit and stop loss orders from a just raw market order, or am I then up against setting limit orders for a stop loss and a take profit? And then I also want to demonstrate one more thing. So we got 3 or 4 things I want to do. I also want to put a trade on specifically where I don't put a stop loss and take profit, and then I go and I put in a limit order. Depends on what, you know, which direction I'm trading. A limit order and a stop order. Limit order for a take profit, stop order for a stop loss, and then close the trade out by just closing it out or by one of those orders being hit. And I want to display something that's really dangerous. If you do that, if maybe you enter the market and then you go, okay, I'm just going to use a limit order and a stop order, and you don't enter with a bracket, that is not an OCO order. That's not a bracket order. It's not a one cancels the other, where if you're stopped out, that limit order gets deleted. And what I've seen a lot of traders do is make that fatal mistake of entering the market, doing the right thing by setting a take profit and a stop loss, but they did it in a way where they're not connected. And then they walk away from their charts, which is cool to do, and they hit a take profit or stop loss. Great. But guess what? There's now a naked order on the chart, either a limit order or a stop order, that's waiting to get filled with no take profit and no stop loss. So that's a dangerous play. That's a dangerous play. So let's go ahead and play around with this. Let's say we want to get long out of this zone for whatever reason. Again, guys, this is let's actually put it, not a horrible dumb trade on. Yeah, we sold off. We found some buyers down here. We tested this level. I think we might come back down to the lows, you know, maybe break down a little bit more. We do have news coming up at 8:30. That could be super violent. But for now, let's say, hey, you know what? We think we're going to break to the upside out of this zone. We're going to throw we'll do it really light just in case we hold it into news or whatever. We're going to throw a $300 take profit in here, a $300 stop loss over here, above and below price for a nice 1-to-1. Nice. So we are in filled long, 2 micros on NQ. We have our corresponding take profit order and a stop loss order, right? Here's what I wanted to test with this example here. Are we able to move around our take profit order? We are. We are able to move around our take profit and our stop loss orders. We're able to drag and drop it. Maybe we say, hey, you know what? I want to... Ooh, that was interesting. Because it moves over to like a new market order, and I don't need to do that. But maybe we say, hey, you know what? This looks good, but we want to, have a stop loss like right in here, and we want to have a take profit. We want to have a stop loss right in here. We can go ahead and drag that up, and we want to have a take profit right in here, and we can go ahead and make that really tight. Now, this is cool. You can drag and drop it around. You can get rid of each one if you want to. You could add or remove, which is pretty nice. But something that's really clean on here is this bracket is connected. So if your take profit is hit, if your stop loss is hit, the other side is canceled, which is really important. This is not really something that most traders have paid attention to if you come off of Project X, but it is really important to pay attention to if you are trading on Trade-of-8 or TradingView or really any other platform outside of Project X. So let's go ahead and close this one out for a $50 L. We can do that by just closing the thing right there. We could buy market or sell market if we wanted to, but we could just go ahead and close it out. You can see that that bracket is canceled. Nice. We're happy about that. Now, let's go ahead and run test number 2. If we went ahead and just marketed in with no take profit and no stop loss, are we able to then drag out take profit and stop loss? Let's go ahead and buy market 2, and I'm not able to. I don't have a take profit and stop loss order on here that I'm able to just drag out like immediately from the chart. If you guys know of a setting in order to make that happen after you're in with no take profit and no stop loss, let me know, but I don't have that option. So let's say you get into this trade. So we're gonna actually demonstrate, question number 2. Well, what happens if you get into this situation? What happens if you're in this? You can go ahead and set your own take profit and stop loss, right? You could do that by setting a limit order, a sell limit order for 2 above price, for example, right? You could go ahead and hit, sell limit order here, up here above price, just by right-clicking, which is a really easy way to do it. Sets it up, and then you can go ahead and confirm. And let's go ahead and do this just because I want to test something. So now we have a sell limit order up here. Here's what I'm really curious of. Let's go with a buy stop order down below price. Oh, excuse me. Sell stop order down below price to act as our stop loss. And here's what I'd like to see. Yeah, we'll get stopped out of this one. That's fine. I'd like for one of these to be hit. Because what I want to display is, I don't think this is now entered as a bracket order. Because we didn't enter any corresponding stop loss and take profit like we did on the first example with this order, I don't think these are connected to this order right here. I'm not 100% sure. And what I mean by that is, if we hit a sell stop, right? If we hit a stop loss or we hit a take profit, are we going to immediately we're going to be closed out of the position, but is the other order going to be canceled? I'm not 100% sure. I don't think that setting is automated in trading on TradingView with Trade-of-8. So I'm gonna let this one run to a take profit or a stop loss. It's gonna happen really quick because we have news coming up. Just to let you guys know, we do have news coming up right now, 8:30 a.m. One of these is going to be hit really quickly. Again, I'm in an eval. We're getting some testing in, some stuff that I want to display live with you guys. Again, what I want to watch for here is not whether or not one of these fills and takes us out of the order. I know that will happen, but because I entered them completely separately, I want to display something here, which is I believe that the other one is going to stay on the chart. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it automatically knows to cancel it out, but I don't believe it's attached. So we're fixing to find out. And that is really important to know about. Really important to know about because you'll see the situation that we'll get into. We will have one of these hit, maybe the stop loss here, and the other order will be sitting on the chart naked, meaning it's a resting sell order, either a sell limit or a sell stop, with no corresponding stop loss. So what happens is I would be taken out of this order either for a win or for a loss, and then I would have a limit or a stop order on the chart ready to be filled, and it probably would be filled today, which we could show, with no take profit or no stop loss attached to it. So let's see if I take a stop on this one. We can watch this other order, not be deleted. Just want to confirm. And not only to confirm, but to show you the risk. To show you the risk of this. Which is important on Tradeovate, TradingView, really on any other platform, to set a bracket order with your trade. Set a corresponding take profit and stop loss order for every single trade that you take. You can always adjust it. You could always delete it. You could always move it off. But you should really be entering the market every single time with an OCO order. One cancels the other. Some kind of bracket attached to it. So let's see if we can get a take profit or a stop loss on this one. Thought I was gonna get stopped out, and we can watch to see if this thing changes. Oh, also I want to demonstrate something else. If you add in after you have a bracket order on TradingView, does the corresponding take profit and stop loss automatically adjust? For example, if I'm long 2 at MNQ, does my take profit and stop loss automatically adjust, right, to 3 MNQ if I added one in, which I'll do after this trade? If I'm not entered with a corresponding take profit and stop loss like this, and I add or remove in, do I now just have a position running with no take profit and no stop loss? We'll see what the answer is there, because I'm going to demonstrate it live with you guys. So here we go. We're about, maybe, we'll see. We're about to get a take profit hit. Oh my God, MNQ. We're about to get a take profit hit. Now, we got a take profit hit. Now, look what happened, guys. Because we entered with not a bracket, I entered the market naked, no take profit, no stop loss. I put a take profit and a stop loss order by using a sell limit and a sell stop. Look at the situation that I'm in. That's a dangerous place to be if you're not watching the charts. I'm out of the market. I have no position running. I was closed out with a take profit hit, but now look what I have. I have a sell stop order for 2, and if and when that fills, which I'll leave it on the chart, maybe we come back down really quickly. If and when that fills, I'm entered in the market short 2 with no stop loss and no take profit. It's just going to run indefinitely through, maybe through news, maybe through, the end of the trading session to take me out of, of the account because I violate a rule to hold into the close, right? So important to note. So let's go ahead and close this out. Really important to note here on TradingView with Tradeovate. Let me read this as we're demonstrating some stuff. I think the take profit, ability to drag out is awesome. Only thing I was missing now, I'm trading Team Tradeovate all the way. Awesome. This is awesome. I love the ability to drag. Yeah, this is a game changer. Absolutely. Yeah, I know, guys. This is epic, right? This is epic. And honestly, there's some things that I like about TradingView that I don't like about Project X. There's some things I like about Project X that I don't like about TradingView, right? But I really like this. I really like this because of this. It displays your position size and your risk and your take profit by way of dollar amount, which you can change. Also, you can change in the settings. You could have this display as ticks, right, or points. But you might say, hey, dude, I need to adjust for volatility really quickly on the fly, which we all need to do. And I run a fixed, for example, $500 stop loss, right? You are really easy to go, hey, you know what? Okay, I know I want my stop loss here, and I know I want my take profit here, but I know I want this number to be 500. I can literally just click until I get to 500. I don't have to do math. I can watch as the market's moving in real time. I can drag this around to the spot that I need. I can adjust on the fly and have that displayed before I enter the market. It really can prevent you from getting in too heavy, right? It can prevent you from trading a mini on a day where the market's moving really quick. Maybe you're not checking ATR. Maybe you're not, using your measurement tool, which you should be doing ahead of time anyway. But you could be a lazy person and just, drag out, take profit. Maybe you're doing limit orders, right? You're like, hey, I want to set a limit order to sell at VWAP because I'm a VWAP trader. And I want to take profit order down here. And I want my stop loss out here. But I know I need that $500 stop loss. I don't want to exceed that. Okay, great. I can come all the way down to 2 micros. Maybe I want to run this one and a little bit wider. So this to me is helpful. I do enjoy that. I do like that. So good stuff. Gotta make sure trade with 1-click setting is off to use the drag and drop. Yes, definitely gotta make sure trade with 1-click setting. And if you hopped on late, guys, the magic setting that we turned on here, you can go to settings at the top. You can go to right click here. The magic setting that we turned on is under trading, and it is this bad boy right here. Project order for market orders. And again, in the trading settings, you can have a whole bunch of different stuff. 1-click trading if you're an absolute psychopath. You know, you could turn on the reverse position button if you ever want to use that, which I don't know anybody that trades with the reverse position button. You could display your profit and loss in ticks and percent. There you go, not points. So ticks and percent. You can have execution marks on the chart. You can have the sound on if you like, you know, the dinging and stuff from trading view, you know, so you can change a whole bunch of those settings. Cool. So I wanted to test something else here live with you guys. I wanted to test, which I think I know the answer to most of these. I don't want to sound like I don't know, you know, how to trade on TradingView and Tradeovate, but I want to show this stuff because a lot of it can be kind of dangerous if you're not aware of it. They could be account killers. So here's what I want to display. If I enter the market, let's say we want to, let's say we want to fade this market to the upside. Let's say I enter the market short 1, right? And my goal is to add in, right? I'm going to enter with a bracket. And here's the question. If I enter with a bracket and then I add another contract, I mark it in for another contract short, do I have to drag out another corresponding take profit and stop loss order for that second order to create another bracket? Or does it automatically adjust my current take profit and stop loss order, which is connected to the first order? I'm curious. And I think you could probably do this multiple different ways, but and I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to go ahead and test it with you guys right off the bat. But I don't want to ignore the chat. You guys were asking great questions today and yesterday. It's not. Both are going to get hit. Morning. They should bring that feature. Good morning. That's what Project X is good. Connected orders are done good on Project X, to be honest. Yeah. You are correct. Those stop limit orders are not connected. It won't get canceled. Yeah, awesome. Can you make it so that when take profit 1 is hit, your stop moves to break even? Ketchup FTW. Good question. On TradingView, which is the platform that we're on right here, no. But on Tradeovate, yes. Tradeovate has way more advanced ATM, automated trade management features, than TradingView and Project X does by a long shot. On TradingView, on Tradeovate, straight from the Tradeovate platform, you can set a lot of different automated trade management or automatic trade management. I don't know if it's automated or automatic trade management for ATM. Settings. You can have auto stop loss to break even. You can go stop loss to break even plus or minus a certain amount of ticks. You can go trailing stop loss. You can go stop loss to break even plus a trail. These are all things that you could not do in Project X, which is really, really cool. A lot of people like to walk away and they want an auto break even level plus a percent. You can do that on Tradeovate. I have a video on that if you want to watch on TradingView, not to get too distracted from what we're doing right here. If you want to watch that, on YouTube, I have a long form video on that. You can just check my channel. You got a news candle. That's a weak one. Yep. Only downside is that the data feed doesn't show you total profit for the day. Only open profit on trades. Yes. Yep. I wish it would continue to show the dollar amount on once the order is placed. Yeah. Yeah. In the account info in the trading panel. Yes, yeah, you could go into. So what I like to do, guys, here's what I would always do. I'll just give you a second piece to this. Well, we should have sold up here because we came back down. Here's what I would do. AJ and Pam, here's what I would make sure that you're doing. I would log in if you're gonna do this. If you're gonna trade on TradingView, from a TradeOvate account, I would log into TradeOvate to trade straight from TradingView, but I would also log into TradeOvate and have that open on a separate window watching on TradeOvate. I would make sure you have that. This way you can get all of the information that you're looking for, but you also have a secondary kind of view where, like, maybe you're doing something on TradingView and you don't realize, and you look on TradeOvate and you still see a P&L running, or you see an order is in and you can exit and cancel all, right? But it is a secondary view. I would also say, while TradingView is great, these two names are so close, so it keeps tripping me up. While TradingView is great for charting and trading, I like it, there are advantages to TradeOvate by itself. It's a much more advanced trading platform, just objectively, or I should say in my humble opinion. But you certainly have more by way of reporting from TradeOvate over TradingView. So, like, if you want to look at your metrics, like for your trading, like you would on Project X for whatever account you're on, TradeOvate has that. So I would make sure you definitely log into TradeOvate, go to the report section, and you can get a ton of detailed information the same way that you can from pretty much any platform. TradingView does have a lot of it. They has a lot of it in the trading dashboard, but it's just, I don't like it nearly as much. It's not as clean. It's just, I don't like the way that it displays. I think TradeOvate gives you more flexibility to customize reports and stuff like that. So I would always be logged into TradeOvate on the side, because again, you're connecting two things, right? You're connecting TradeOvate to TradingView, so you have a pass through. I would always be on the original as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this play. What we wanted to test here was if we entered in a short with one MNQ, right? With a take profit and stop loss, which we're going to do right now. Corresponding take profit and stop loss are in. If I add in, by marketing in a sell again, does this take profit and stop loss order automatically get adjusted, or do I need to also drag out a take profit and stop loss order from, ooh, there's actually a sell button on here, from this secondary order? So let's go ahead and do it. It does not automatically connect. It does not automatically connect. So you can see what I did here. I added in, and now I have a stop loss order for 1 and a take profit order for 1. So I essentially have one contract on here short that's naked. So let's go ahead and do this again. A couple different ways. Also, you don't have the buy bid and join bid, join ask, which I like. That is available on TradeOvate itself, but you do have limit orders, well, which is kind of cool. You can go for like a buy limit order, for right below price if you want to like get out at a better price. You could also just like drag this one up and then hit confirm and maybe be taken out for a limit to the downside, but this is still 1. So I would actually need to adjust that. But let's go ahead and get out of this one before we get moved into loss. And go for that again, right? So let's go for the sell market again. I didn't put a take profit and stop loss. I'm gonna get yelled at for. I'm not gonna get yelled at. This is take profit. Let's go for that again. Let's slow down a little bit. Stop loss order, take profit order, right? What do we need to do if we're adding into a position here, right? If you're somebody that adds in or wants to scale out, we'll talk about scaling out with limit orders. That's pretty cool as well. We get in short, right? And then you go, cool, this is a great spot to get short. I think we're going to come down and sweep these lows, right? We want to mark it in again. What can you do? You could drag your stop loss to the actual exact dollar amount, and I think it'll combine it. Exact price level, excuse me, not dollar amount. I think to the exact price level, and it will combine it. I think. Let's see if we can do this. Let's go ahead and add in.
Order filled.
Nope, it didn't combine them. It has 2 overlaid right here, just so you guys know. Interesting. Position size does get averaged, but we do have two separate brackets now running for this. Two separate brackets for this. Now, if we close out of this order, let's get rid of that because that's distracting. If we close out of this order altogether before either one of these are hit, we should have everything canceled off because both positions would be closed. The take profit and stop loss order should be closed. Maybe we drag up and we can see if we want to get stopped out as well. But interesting to kind of watch the metrics of this. Yeah, let's do this. No, let's just get out. Let's get out and do something else. Cool. Out together, out for everything here. Okay, so we've kind of demonstrated the ability to drag out, take profit, stop loss orders. As we're actually trading here, I'm $130.50 in profit on this on this eval. I still think we're actually going to come lower on here and maybe retest this low on NQ before we open up. Not much actual trading here, but a bunch of actual trading going on. Just us demonstrating orders. Here's what I think is really cool as far as setting multiple take profit orders on TradingView, right? Multiple take profit orders on TradingView. If you wanted to do this, and the reason for caution doing this, right? So let's just go ahead and try to demonstrate this. Here's the thought. I've watched people do this. Right? I've watched people do this. Yeah, I've watched people do this, but there's a risk factor here. So what a lot of traders would like to do on TradingView, which you could probably do this better on Tradeovate, is they want to set limit orders to scale out of a position, right? In profit. So maybe you want to get short 3 with a stop loss up here and a take profit down here. And then what you could do automatically is set limit orders below price, right? Buy limit orders to get you out in profit for one contract at a time. And you would reduce your overall position in profit by starting to scale out. The fear of doing that, though, the issue with doing that, which I've watched a video on someone do it, and it worked out really nicely for him in the video. The issue with doing that is, like we demonstrated before, if you enter with a bracket and then you put naked limit orders down here that are not tied to this bracket, if, for example, you didn't scale out in profit because price didn't move in your direction, but in fact it moved against you and you were stopped out, you'd be closed out of the market, you'd be closed out of your initial take profit and stop loss, but your limit orders to scale out in profit would be now sitting as naked orders to buy in this instance. So while you can do some pretty cool things on TradingView, it's really important to understand the difference between setting an order that is connected, a bracket like this, and not doing that, and then setting naked orders, or even setting an order like this, and then setting more orders to scale out in profit, more, limit orders or stop orders or whatever it is, to add in, to scale out. And then also adding into your position, scaling in, which I know a lot of traders like to do. You're not able to just market in with more, at least as far as I'm aware, with more contracts and automatically have that take profit and stop loss updated. You have to enter with more brackets. At least what I'm seeing here for this connection today on TradingView and Tradeovate. I do wonder if it's different between prop firms. I wonder if it's different between Tradeovate updating anything. It's always interesting to see how that stuff affects the ability to do different things. But those are different than Project X. So it's really important to note that. Will it let you set a bracket order on the second trade the same way you did on the first? Yes, that's what we just demonstrated. Pam. I'm wondering if you guys are lagging behind me. So always make sure that if you're on YouTube, that you go down to the bottom, you click live, and you make sure the video is live. But we could do it again. Right? So we sold, right? We're in the market again, entering short here with a corresponding bracket order. Let's say we want to add into this position. What can we do? Get ready to set a market order, drag out a stop loss, drag out a take profit, right? Right, maybe right to the same exact level, you know, or close to it. And then what do? We go ahead and sell again.
Order filled.
And we are entered. Position size is increased. Average price, right? This initial entry is moved down because we added in profit. And stop loss and take profit order for the second position are attached here. They're overlaying. I thought it connected them. I really did think it connected them. Like I thought it would just display. Am I retarded? Oh, excuse me. I don't mean to say that. Am I an idiot here? I also realized I'm not allowed to curse on. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make it 2. I thought it would do that. Anyway, let's test something else in this one, right? So let's say I have a you know, my first take profit in here to scale out. That would have been a nice spot to take profit. Let's say I have my first take profit in here to scale out. If one is hit, is the other bracket closed? It should be, and I should still be in with one order, right? It really wouldn't make sense to not do that. Let's go ahead and just adjust this. Awesome. So I'm taking out of one. We're scaling out in profit, and I still now have my one stop loss and my one take profit down here, right? So it doesn't do anything crazy where like it adjusts, you know, and takes you out, but it leaves, you know, the other one here. I don't know why it would do that, right? These are just separate bracket orders. So essentially we're entering the market multiple times with multiple corresponding OCO orders. Let's go ahead and get out of this position. What? You can't curse? Yeah. Got it. That was the second trade. Missed that second trade. Yeah, no problem. Guys, if you are, remember, if you're on YouTube, just because we're going to do a giveaway later, you know, we're going to come into NYSE Open. You're probably going to see this late if it's already happening to you. If you're on YouTube, make sure you go down to the bottom of the screen, click live. There should not be that long of a delay. And, you know, make sure that you are actually watching the live session here. All right. Yeah, so we tested scaling in, scaling out. We tested, you know, different order types. We displayed a whole bunch of different stuff on TradingView versus Tradeovate. If you guys have questions on it, feel free to let me know. We can play around with more stuff. I'm glad that we got to do this today. Sorry that it took me a second to get an account loaded up, but I wanted to make sure I didn't do it in a... not that I care too much about funded accounts either, but risk-wise, but I wanted to make sure I didn't do it in the wrong account. Connect a live account and start placing 47,000 micro trades through news. Probably not the smartest move. But we can get a little bit more aggressive scalping going in here. Here's something that I want to test. How good is... how bad is the lag on TradingView, right? So if you guys have questions, feel free to ask in chat. As long as they're not dumbass questions. There's a curse like that one. When was the last time you shaved clean? Are you clean shaved? Funny questions, not quite as bad as like my shoe size, but yeah, we'll try to keep them related to trading. A long time, my brother. And I'm growing my hair. I used to have really long hair. I cut it and immediately wanted to grow it back. So I'm going to not get a haircut. I haven't got a haircut in a long period of time. So not only do I not shave, I'm not going to get a haircut for probably a couple years. But that's as far as I'm going to go answering completely not related trading questions. So here's what I wanted to talk about. If you guys have more questions on trading on Tradeovate, on TradingView, connecting prop firms, top 1 futures, just real quick before I move on to this next thing, which is kind of a nuanced. I'm going to talk about the good and the bad. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, which is my preferred prop firm, an instant funded prop firm, I will throw the link in chat. They are still running 60% off of all accounts. Your first or next Tradeovate account, you can do exactly what I'm doing here. You can trade on TradingView from Tradeovate. You can also trade on NinjaTrader if you want to trade on NinjaTrader. What's up, Kobe Clark? What's up, Jess? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Appreciate you guys hopping on Kick. What's up on Kick? What's up on X? What's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys hopping on, man. So if you want to check this out, you can trade on, you trade the same way that I'm trading here with an instant funded prop account. Keep your eyes on top on futures, man. They are moving in the right direction. As we've seen, again, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated. I stand to make money. Do your own research, make your own decisions. But as we've seen prop firms continue to close, another one yesterday, I think a good indicator is what the prop firm is doing. Are they tightening up rules? Are they making it harder to get a payout? Are they increasing prices? Are they not doing anything? Or are they adding platforms like Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, and TradingView? Are they lowering prices, and are they widening out rules? It's usually a sign of good health. As always, there's always a risk. There's always an inherent risk. And I was talking about that yesterday, even as we saw Top Step make a major change around trading metals. Reasonable. I'm not mad about it, but it does demonstrate something that I talk about a lot, which is we're on their court with their rules. Top one as well. Everybody, everybody being aware. And brokers as a whole, right? I don't want to go off on a complete tangent, but that's not my phrase. It's not my phrase. And it was I wasn't trading GameStop at the time on that day, but it was demonstrated. It was demonstrated to us really clearly, guys, that when the GameStop run was going on, and go and watch that movie, man. It's a funny movie. When Robinhood removed the ability to buy and the buy button disappeared and just the sell button was there, and they said that they did that for all of the right reasons, to protect the people that were trading, right? To protect the crazy people that were running it up, and not at all to protect all of the major players that were short and getting squeezed. That was the clearest demonstration that you're playing on our turf. This is our court, and we could take our ball and say, you're done dunking on us, go home at any point. That at least is how it was displayed to me. It's how it was described to me. Again, I'm not coming up with that. Other people have stated it that way. That's not my, not my quote. I don't know who to quote on that. But that was a really important thing to recognize. Really important thing to recognize. Again, something like that obviously does not happen often at all. But you could look at what happened in metals this year, right? It's reasonable to a degree. The market is moving at an insane rate compared to what it was. The potential for profit or loss, the risk, is insanely higher. Brokerages increased, live brokerages increased margin requirements heavily, as they should, right? Rightfully so. And prop firms reduced leverage, the ability to trade on them completely for some of them, or limiting you to micros only and a very small amount of micros, as they should to a degree, even though technically you paid to be able to trade something, but maybe your purchasing power is still the same. But it's just important to remember that this game can change at any point, guys. And, it took me a while to realize that, and I talk about it a lot because you could get stuck. You get set in your ways, and it could be devastating to you when you hop on and you see what's going on in the news, and you see what's going on from your broker, from your platform, from the markets. The rules change. These rules change regularly, every single year. They continue to change. You're going to have to find ways to adapt. The guys that are here for the long run are dynamic. They're able to work through those setbacks and keep pushing forward. Relentless. They're extremely hard to kill. The guys and girls, not to make it too biased, because we got some lady traders on here that kill it. All right. But if you want to check out Top 1 Futures, go ahead and check that out. I trailed off a little bit, guys. But yeah, if you don't know what we were talking about yesterday, let me pull up the, I'm not going to pull up the email, but essentially Top Step sent out an email and a, on their socials that said, not able to trade gold, silver, platinum, I think copper, natural gas, emitting natural gas at all in SIM, evals, XFAs, live accounts, and then very tight contract limits on micros. And then we saw an announcement from Apex yesterday, essentially saying the same thing. I think they just stopped trading on them altogether. I don't know if they're letting you trade micros at all, but essentially the same thing. Volatility is too high. We're done. You're done here. So, be aware of that, guys. This game's going to continue to change. And some things are not market related. Sometimes it's a rule change. Sometimes it's the markets change. Sometimes it's policy. Sometimes it's things directly from the centralized exchanges that we're trading on that shift the market in general, right? There's so much that's going on even this year as far as 9 a.m. 9 a.m. news. Or not news? I'm just zoomed in too much on the 1 minute chart. Do we have 9 a.m. news? No 9 a.m. news. But yeah, be aware of that, guys, and be dynamic, be flexible, right? Don't get too set in your ways. I was way too set in my ways, and I built an identity around exactly what I wanted to do, and as soon as something changed, it devastated me, pissed me off. All right, so here's what I want to look at. If you guys have questions, feel free, ask in the chat. Here's what I want to look at. It's 9 a.m. We got 30 minutes to NYSE open. I do want to be able to hop back over to take a look at YM, but I'm gonna take some trades here on this eval. Maybe we run it up. Maybe we run it into drawdown. We'll take some trades. Here's what I wanted to look at, right? So this is kind of helpful maybe for you guys to display to look at this yourself. This is obviously TradingView logged in from Tradeovate, right? This is Bookmap with Bookmap data. I also have Rhythmic, but this just so you know exactly what type of data this is. This is level 2 data from Bookmap itself. Now, being a centralized exchange, the CME, in the futures market, these prices should be exact. We should have the exact same price. Me, you, everybody else. As long as you have a fast internet connection and a fast, hardware, you should be able to get really, really close to real-time pricing, right? What I don't like as much about TradingView is what we're seeing right now, right? Like, I'm really zoomed in to exaggerate it on the 1 minute chart, and I don't love the way these candles print. There's a little bit of a lag. There's a very, very, very little bit of a lag, right? We talked about all the stuff that I like about it. This is really the one thing I don't like about it. I don't like the way these candles print. I'm talking like a split second lag. It's not by not having real-time market data, which you get by logging in through Tradeovate. It's not because of the web versus the desktop. For the record, guys, I've tested everything. I've hit their support team up. I have one of the fastest internet connections I can get for my area and what I would consider a pretty fast operating system. I've done this with nothing else open while I'm not streaming. I've tested this across the board. I can't get these candles to print the way that they print on something like Bookmap or even Project X. So take a look at how this 1 minute candle is forming, right? And it's very different than Tradeovate itself. It's almost a little bit laggy, right? It's kind of like the price isn't delayed, data's not delayed, but it jumps, right? Like we're only gonna get like a refresh every couple of split seconds, where it's not like a constant smooth refresh, right? I'm gonna display this in contrast on something that I do like about Project X, right? Unfortunately, that we're all coming off of it. There's plenty that I don't like about Project X. Here's something that I like, right? This is a TradingView chart. This is an integrated TradingView chart. I don't know how they got this to happen, but the way these candles print, in my humble opinion, just my opinion, is much smoother. They seem to refresh faster. There seems to be less lag. There seem to be closer to what I get on Bookmap, which is extremely fast. I've put Bookmap up against everything, and Bookmap with Bookmap data or Rhythmic, as long as I don't overload it, is like super, super, super fast. Now, for the most part, does this matter? Not unless you do what I'm about to show you. Not unless you want to scalp using market orders and very, very tight take profit and stop loss orders, because you might be a split second behind. Which I really don't like, right? We pay for all of this data and subscriptions and internet, and I'm sitting in front of a spaceship. For those of you that don't know, hop on my IG. You can see what I sit in front. I've got 2 Samsung G9s. I have multiple other monitors up here. I would argue, some of the best equipment that money could buy. I'm very grateful to have that. I didn't always have that. I built out a real cool trading space this year. I'm running from a super fast, MacBook Pro you know, fiber network hardwired. So I do that so I don't have a lag, right? So I can, you know, all of that to get real-time pricing. Again, does it matter that much? Like, not really, but knowing that it's delayed a little bit, or it just the way that it prints, I don't enjoy that. So that is something that bothers me. Again, we can kind of like hop back and forth to display this. I'm zooming in like really aggressively on the 1 minute, and I will actually take a couple trades to show you guys where this could be a little bit dicey. What I will say is positive. This is not present on Tradeovate or NinjaTrader if you're comfortable trading directly from a Tradeovate and NinjaTrader chart. And again, is this a problem for someone like me who's usually trading on the 15-minute chart on YM? No, dude. Like, it's not, you know, you're not scalping that much. You're running like a wide stop. You know, the tiny tick movement is probably not gonna, you know, influence your trade decision that much. But there's a feel to it. You know, look at how slow this is moving compared to you know, Bookmap over here. So, you know, that is something that I don't like about trading on TradingView. Again, I don't have a way to change that. You know, I've tried, but it's a little bit of a downside. So let's play with it. 906, yeah, let's play with it. Like, I'll show you guys where this would be a problem, like who this would be a problem for. Someone like me, for the most part, even if I'm scalping like super quick, check this out. If I zoom in, right, and if we start moving fast, you'll see this. You'll see the market order, like the price that we should be marketed in, come off of the candle a little bit. And you'll also see that price that's printing in real time is kind of just a split second. If you could watch both prices, I've overlaid them so they're side by side. It's a split second behind. Again, I'm not talking even like a whole 1/1000. That's a pain in the ass, right? And like maybe you say, you know, you are, can we do, let's do something like this. So I'm over here. I'm on the order card, just so you know, you guys know what I'm doing here exactly. Let's say we want to be crazy negative risk to reward scalpers, right? And we want to enter with a 20-point take profit and a 50-point stop loss, right? And we're gonna wait for, you know, some reaction off of a level, maybe on Bookmap, to jump into a long or short this way. For this example, maybe a long, right? This type of movement on the candle printing can be an issue. You can see how jumpy it is back and forth as the market order's printing, right? So I'm probably getting cooked on this real quick. We're doing it with 1 micro, but let's go ahead and just demonstrate this. That's buy getting clicked. Pretty good fill on there, but you could see how that could potentially be an issue, right? If you're really zoomed in, if you're somebody that's scalping with really tight take profits, tight stop loss levels, or even, you know, maybe you're on maybe you trade primarily like the 30-second chart or something like that. You know, this could be a little bit of a drawback. So, you know, something to note. Like, we could play with that again. Like, let's play with it again. I'm going to try to demonstrate like a bad fill. And again, it's not a bad fill from like Tradeovate or TradingView. It's just like it's just kind of a nature of the way this is printing, and then when we're clicking the button. So like, you know, maybe I'm like, I want to enter on like a pullback up here, a little bit of a retest, or maybe we want to enter here. We want to enter for like a breakout, right?
Order filled.
Kind of fast, like kinda. But you can even see it on Bookmap, how we're trading to the downside, breaking below, and how back and forth laggy this is. So yeah, it's one thing that I really don't like on about TradingView. It's just slow moving. Like, maybe we want to go stop loss to break even, and we're trading like super tight like this. Even how fast that you would have to move on something like that could start to be a problem. So again, I try to be objective, right? I'm trading on TradingView. I'm using Tradeovate. I'm trading on prop firms that are trading on TradingView and Tradeovate. You know, that's something that I don't like about it. If you compare, I'll give you one further. If you compare a Trade of 8 chart even to Project X, Trade of 8's fast. Trade of 8 candles print like buttery smooth up and down. Buttery smooth. There's none of this jumping back and forth crap. You know, maybe during really like high volume times, like high volatile times, you know, there's none of that jumping back and forth type stuff. So yeah, something worth noting. But I could leave it zoomed in if you guys enjoy it. But I would you could test this yourself. You could even put Project X, like you could go side by side on Windows. You could put Project X right next to the price axis on a TradingView chart as you're logged in, and you could actually see price behind it. You could see price like move behind it, which I don't like. I got to be honest, I really don't like that, and it's very exaggerated during high volume periods. So something to note. And again, this is not a data issue, a lag issue, something that can be like corrected. This is just TradingView. I don't know that they acknowledge it directly, but I have not found any way to correct that. So if someone has the magic answer, please let me know. Really difficult to scalp on TradingView. Yeah. Explain bookmap with breakouts, please. Sure. We can talk about bookmap. Awesome TradingView review. Learned a couple things I didn't even know were there to use. Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole bunch more. I'm going to put more videos out on TradingView. If you guys are interested on connecting Trade of 8 to TradingView, I have videos here on YouTube. If you're interested on more about that, I did put long form videos out. I'm going to do more of them for sure. We'll talk about bookmap. Talk about bookmap coming up here. Teach us how to read bookmap real quick. Yeah, we'll talk about bookmap. Just in a minute, I'm gonna read through. I love gold micros. I plan to profit. Yeah. TradingView is slow at candle printing. It's like a 5-second delay. Yeah, Mystic Rick. I don't know that it's 5 seconds, but it's definitely noticeable. It's like asteroids. Yeah, dude, we're in for another massive dump coming. Okay, we got some guys calling for a dump. Have a profitable and blessed day on purpose. You know it. Good morning. Just wanted to shout you out. People needed this breakdown. You're inspiring. You're inspiring me to help others as well. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys. I'm glad we got to do this. I'm glad you guys found value. We got a ton of people on. I know that majority of traders are coming off of Project X. Almost everybody's coming off of this platform here, Project X, right? Unless you're on Top Step, which is cool. You can still trade on Project X. Everybody else is cooked. So you're probably going to be on Trade of 8, and if you want the TradingView chart, this is how you get it. So important to know the little differences. And again, some of this stuff is dangerous. Some of this stuff here is gonna be deadly. You got to be cautious of like what we talked about, the naked orders on setting limit or stop orders. Scaling in, scaling out. Got to be cautious on that. All right, taking a look at what YM did. It's 9:13. We're about to get ready to come into the open. All right, I'm going to leave NQ up on this chart. This way we can come back and scalp our way into profit or loss. So we'll leave NQ up on the 1 minute here, guys. And we'll scalp right from this chart. We'll play around with it. I'll see if I could display, maybe I'll take some trades like a psychopath right into NYSE Open, or we'll watch news on a TradingView chart. Again, not to show you like something that's bad, but just to show you the reality of what we're working with here. But let's come back over to YM here and get ready for NYSE Open, which I am still looking to juggle on Project X. But before we get ready for that, about 15 minutes to the open, guys. I'll be right back. Gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back in a couple minutes, and we'll get ready for NYSE Open. Yeah, we'll leave this screen up so we can take a look at YM. Be right back, guys. Back in action with you guys here. Chat. 9:19 a.m. Getting ready for NYSE to open up. Let's get ready, man. Let's get ready for it, man. These live sessions have been fun in the morning, man. I'm having a good time with you guys early for pre-market. It's nice. It's kind of like low stress. We get to chill out. We can do stuff like we just did because the market's not going crazy. This is nice, guys. If you are enjoying the pre-market streams all the way into NYSE Open, these 3 or 4 hour streams that I'm gonna run, let me know. If you guys hopped on late and you don't know because I'm so damn consistent with my trading, not to like, you know, give myself a humble brag, but it's just, you know, what I do. Coming up for next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the stream days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the meat of the week, starting at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 2 hours before the open. We're going to be live trading, NQ, scalping away like we were doing today. We'll be able to go through a whole bunch of different stuff that's going on and then trade all the way into NYSE Open. Evals, funded accounts, live accounts, man. I'm excited to be bringing a lot to you guys this year. But for next week at least, that's the game plan. I don't know if I'm going to run this play for forever, but it is an important change. We are streaming live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. No stream tomorrow, Friday. No stream Monday. We're running Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No stream on Friday. And guys, hold on, chat. This is important. This is important. Let me come back over here. Where are we at, chat? Chilled out to start the day. Nice. Chat, listen up. Listen up. For you guys that are on here, we have 48. We had a couple people hop off. We have 48. Oh no, we had a ton cycle on and off. 200. Yeah, we got a bunch of people across platforms. X, Kick. Appreciate you guys hopping on. You know I say stuff, I yap about stuff, right? Like, before Clay has hopped on, one of the founders of Top 1 Futures, Top 1 Trader, right? I don't know if you guys were on for those. We did like 10 giveaways. He gave away 10 instant funded accounts, 50K Ignite instant funded accounts. I only have so many people on my live streams that actually fell at the forums. It's almost like you're really good chance you're going to win a $200 or $300 account. I have something else coming up next week. I have a good feeling that we're going to get Clay back on the show. And I have a good feeling that we're going to do something else. Not just give away accounts on the show. If you are interested in trading with prop firms, if you are interested in trading with Top 1, if you just like free stuff, I would not miss Tuesday's live stream. I would not miss Tuesday's live stream around NYSE Open. I'm going to start it early. I expect him to hop on right around NYSE Open. I would not miss being on the live stream. You will have to be here on Tuesday. I'm tentative right now. It's not 100%, so don't hang me out to dry if we don't make it happen. But I'm giving you the early heads up. I'm giving you the Easter egg here, guys. Hop on stream on Tuesday. Listen, I feel very lucky and grateful that I get to partner with firms, with software companies that support me, support the stream, support you guys, right? I don't have the biggest community out of everybody. It's growing. I have well over 2,000 members in a Discord. I'm almost at 15,000 on YouTube. We have tons of concurrent viewers here. Almost 10K on IG. It ain't small relative to the amount of time I've been putting out, but other guys that are out there, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people on their live stream, if they give out 100 accounts, it's still not the same as me giving out one, okay? I would not miss Tuesday's live stream. I think you guys got a really good opportunity coming up on Tuesday. Just putting it out there. If you like prop firms, if you like Top 1 Futures, if you like instant funded accounts, if you were thinking of getting set up on Trade of 8 coming into 2026, you might not want to miss it. If you want to check it out ahead of time, which I don't think there's anything wrong with getting yourself set up with the best deal on instant funded right now. Here is the link in chat. Code RDF gets you a better deal than the email, the website, the Discord, anywhere that you find it. Shout out Top 1 Futures for hooking that up as well for me, for you guys. And as always, guys, I repeat this so much, and I have people be like, why do you like repeat the same disclaimers and stuff? I think it's important. This is the stuff that I want to hear if I'm listening to somebody talk about a prop firm. I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I stand to make money. I cannot be unbiased if I stand to make money. That's part of being biased or unbiased. I think it's really important to note that. As always, almost everybody's biased. Do your own research, make your own decisions. Figure out if this is a good opportunity for you or if it's not a good opportunity for you. If you want to trade something different. You know, maybe you like evals. Maybe you like a different platform. Maybe you like, you know, intraday trailing drawdown. No intraday trailing drawdown. Consistency rules. You know, a million different things could factor in. So. We got past that. 9:25 a.m., man. Let's get ready for it. Let's get ready for it, chat. But yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Also, last piece here, guys, before I focus on the markets. Two spots that you should be. If you're here on YouTube, there's 2 spots, or Kick. Hit me on IG, because I put a ton of content out on IG. If you want to see the fun life I live outside of trading itself, that's a cool spot to do it. I put up to the minute, I've been doing more of that, up to the minute, like info on what's coming out in the prop firm space, in the trading space in general, just general talking head yapping about the markets. I also am going to run more giveaways on IG, and I also update everybody on streams and everything going on IG. But the hub, 100% free trading Discord. Link is in the chat right there, guys, if you want to check it out. More than happy to have you in there. I don't sell anything by way of selling anything directly. Obviously, I'm partnered. I'm affiliated with firms, with companies. I don't have a course. I don't have a mentorship. I don't have a VIP. I don't have a private trading room. Free 99 here, guys. Streaming every damn day live here on YouTube. Almost every damn day, because I'm not streaming tomorrow. All right. Questions. Morning, gang. What's up, Mike? Which top 1 account do you recommend? Starting with a newer trader. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to come back to that and Bookmap. The handy agent asked me about top 1 accounts. So someone remind me to go back. Someone remind me to go to the top 1 site, and we could look at all the accounts together. We got time, man. I'm gonna be chilling on stream. And then the person that asked me about Bookmap. I want to talk to you about Bookmap. We'll take some trades, really scalping off of Bookmap. I'll show you exactly what I look for on Bookmap, and we can watch it display, you know, in real time or not. But we got only a couple minutes to the open, so I do want to focus up. I have my live account loaded up here. This is a, just so we know exactly where we're trading, this is a 15K top 1 futures live account on Project X. This is a 50K take profit trader account eval on Tradeovate logged in with TradingView. Eval, so we can just take a bunch of random trades and see what we got going on. I am got cooked yesterday morning, just back-to-back L's. Cooked some fundeds, but today we're in 1 eval. We're not going to do anything too crazy, but we will take a bunch of trades. So watching YM coming into the open here, guys. Just to give you a little bit of context, what we have coming up. We also have news at 10. News at 10. Yeah, we got jobs. I don't know why this isn't showing. Don't know why it isn't showing here. Interesting. But we have, is it all the way? No, we have 10 a.m. news coming up. It is a red folder. Nothing too crazy, but something to you know, be aware of. Watching this market drift to the downside here, guys. I'm gonna fade the opening move. I'm gonna look to fade this opening move. If we crack to the downside down below yesterday's low, I don't know that we stop right there. I'd be looking for a push lower. So if I wanted to be long from right here, I would set a limit order to buy, right? I don't. I'm going to watch what happens down here. I would consider a long play if we start to crack to the downside here on YM. Conversely, if we crack to the upside, based on this structure and what we saw yesterday and what we're looking at, you know, really across the U.S. indices and the markets in general, if we pop to the upside, I'm going to fade it. I'm going to fade it. I should have faded it yesterday. Didn't have the testicular fortitude, slang for balls, to fade it yesterday after I faded it on the day before and it paid me near all-time highs. Sorry for the crude language. I talked about cursing because I curse in real life. I talked about cursing in my content. I was quickly made aware that I cannot curse in my content. I'm not allowed to curse on YouTube live streams or on Instagram really at all. And I was immediately made aware of that. So we'll talk about we'll talk about trying to censor myself. I was enjoying not censoring myself this year, but I am not allowed to curse. But just so you know who I am in real life, guys, I curse in real life. I try not to curse like a sailor, but I like to use expressive language to convey my emotions. And sometimes the well-timed F-bomb or crude analogy gets it done. I know that offends people, and I made a joke that my mom, who is a wonderful Christian woman, would tell me that I should not, God doesn't want to hear me cursing, and God's listening, and that I need to pray. And I am not laughing about that. I do pray, and I will say sorry for saying it, but sometimes I curse. Anyway, trailing off here, guys. Sorry. We cracked to the downside. I'm looking for a push back up. I'm trying to identify really where I would like to see this happen. Right off this temporary volume point of control. Really right in here. Let's draw a line. 15 seconds to the open here, guys. Let's draw a white line. I'm looking for around this level here. Around this level. I'm probably not doing a good job if I get involved before this. 49,150s. We pop to the upside. I'm looking for a sweep of pre-market highs. We pop to the upside here as we open up. Good luck, everybody. We pop to the upside. I am looking for a sweep of this pre-market high, which I will get exactly by coming to the daily chart. Not to give you guys a headache as I switch between charts, but I'm going to be looking for that right there. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Opening up lower. Opening up aggressively lower here. Let's see, let's see, let's see. See if we get a trade on the live account rolling. See if we get a trade on the live account rolling. Yeah, here's the mean reversion playing out, just not nearly enough. Yeah, so again, guys, like I talk about, the move that I love off the open, like I just said, I want to fade it or I want to fade it, right? What we've got, I got it here. I got it here for a nice clean move to the downside. 100 and some odd, 150 something points, 160 something points. What we've been getting is not enough for me, right? We're getting that initial crack lower, right? Like here it is on the 1 minute, so you can see it. We're getting that like initial crack lower, and then that move right back up towards VWAP, which is a big move. Like this is not nothing, right? 150 points on YM. It's just not giving me a way to structure risk, right? Like I need it down here. I need it down here because I'm not dead wrong unless I'm all the way down here and then we sell off. So it's just really not giving me what I need to get the opening trade off. Trying to get a little more comfortable watching NQ bookmap, which is fast moving. So I'm gonna leave NQ's bookmap. Ooh, let me try not to break it. I'm gonna leave NQ's bookmap up here. I'm gonna adjust some settings on bookmap today as well, guys. We'll talk about that. Yeah, I don't like the way that this displays at all. So I'm gonna mess with settings on bookmap with you guys. This is like not really helpful to me. I mean, it's always going to be really fast off the open, but there's a better way to display this. All right, let's see. Didn't make it back to VWAP. Coming to the downside here again. Really zoomed out on ES. Taking a look at liquidity from a higher time frame perspective, as well as cumulative volume delta looking pretty weak. We are moving to the downside on ES, which I don't trade. I really don't trade these markets in correlation or lack thereof. But I know, we are trading NQ, so we're scalping NQ. And I know a lot of you guys are trading ES and NQ. We might get something. We might get something coming up here, guys. I'm watching this. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. See if we can't make some damn money. Morning gang, Jolt to 10. Yes. Damn, they always trying to keep a brother down. Let him express himself. It's relentless. It's the relentless. It's the realness that gets me pumped. Can't trust a man who doesn't curse. Speak your mind, brother. Yeah, you guys are in favor of the cursing. Yeah, listen, like, listen, guys. I try. We were talking about not being able to curse in content, but obviously I sparked a lot of comments with that one, so I'll elaborate. I try to find a balance, right? I try to find a balance. I think, you know, I don't set out to offend people with everything that I do. That's not my MO. But I also like to be myself, right? I like to be authentic. I like to be who I am, because I think that's all we can do in this life, right? You are who you are, and if you know who you are, I think you can get that much farther ahead, right? That said, I curse. I try not to make it insane, right? I try not to curse too much around women and children, or be extremely offensively vulgar with it. But sometimes, like you've seen in some of my reels and some of my streams, there's an expression, there's an emotion that I want to convey through the screen, and that comes with an F-bomb, man, a really hard one. So, you know, I do utilize that. And I said in my IG reels that I was just going to curse, right? I was going to curse whenever I would normally curse. I was quickly made aware by members of the community and by the community standards and guidelines of the platforms that I am on that they are not too fond of strong language. You will be limited. Your reach can be decreased. You could be shadow banned. You could be kicked completely. You can be demonetized as well. So I gotta play by their rules. Like we talk about, I'm on somebody else's turf, right? I gotta play by their rules. So, you know, there's that. But I like to be genuine. You know, I want to be the person that, like, you know, the guy that you meet in Tampa, the person you see off the screen is the same idiot on the stream with you guys, the same person on, you know, on Reels, that I'm not putting on a front or some, like, random, you know, weird thing. I think people do that, and it's fun. It's a big act and stuff. You know, we have some fun on here. We could, you know, be a little enthusiastic or whatever. But, you know, it's not really what I do. This is not like the WWE where I'm John Cena and you know, we're doing an act over here. So, I'm going to quickly backtrack on my statement earlier on IG. I'm not going to curse like crazy. Immediately got my wrist slapped on that one. But you live and you learn. You live and you learn. All right. Pushing the downside, guys, here. Approaching yesterday's low. I'm still curious in the longs, although this is pretty aggressive to the downside. Pretty aggressive to the downside, Chatty McChat. I think we could find some buyers in here. I think if we get this dip, it could be a little bit further down. If we do pull the dippity dip, I'd love a stop loss way outside of this area. But I think we could come into this, man. And I'm not going to take it long from right in here. That's just not enough for me. I'm not going to take it long right off of yesterday's low. Could be all we do. It looks like it's all we want to do so far, right? Just like come right down and test this level. But it's just really not enough for me, man. I feel that if I take a trade like this, for example, you know, the way that I trade YM here, which is not super duper scalpy, you know, if I take a trade like this, I think we could easily pull this, right? You know, that doesn't give me the warm fuzzy feeling. That's not a good risk structure for me. What I would really like, also there's more opportunity to the upside, is something like this, right? Wider stop, wider take profit, better entry point, and why, right? I don't think that we really do this at all. I would not expect us to do this, right? We could, but I think if we come down and hit that level, right, hit a stop loss on that, I think that's what we're doing. And again, I like my trades on YM if I'm going to put on full risk and maybe take one, maximum two trades, oftentimes no trade. I like it to be a really good trade. I like to wait patiently for a level where I'm either right and or can get out around break even because my entry is at a really, really good spot, or I'm dead wrong and I get my face ripped off to the downside. But I don't really like the in-between. If I was going to trade with tighter stop losses and tighter take profits, and I was going to try trades like this, right, I'd probably have to reduce my risk considerably. Why? you're going to have this happen all day, right? Which is okay, because then what do? You're going to go, okay, stop loss hit. We're running it again, right? You know, kind of like what I was running on NQ. Okay, we try it again. Okay, what happens over here? Oh, we got a win. Okay, now we want to fade it back down. What do we do over here, right? Like super duper tight stop loss, right? Right below the low, right above the high. Okay, then what happens sometimes? Okay, and then we try it again, right? You know, we're still up on the day, but you got to keep taking the same trades because you're running super duper stupid tight stop losses. Okay, what do we happen? And then we come down, right? So I don't do this on YM. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. Having a higher frequency of trades, lower risk, you know, more amount of trades per day. It's just, it doesn't work well for me, specifically on YM. I'm going to trade much more similarly to that on NQ, which we will do in just a little bit. But I want to see if we come lower here on YM. I would prefer to take a really good trade or no trade, right? At least for YM. That's what's paid me in this account. That's what's kept me in this top win. It's what's gotten me to and kept me in this top win futures 15K live account for months. I got moved in the beginning of October. Would have liked to have a whole lot better performance in it coming into the beginning of this year. I really got just not great results coming off of January, really at all. A strong run through, could have done better, but a strong run through the end of the year last year. Took 11 payouts from this account, only from this account. Took plenty of other payouts from other accounts and other prop firms, live accounts as well. But with this one specifically, with a small-sized, prop firm live account, it was nice to be able to do that. Not too happy with my results coming into the year, but risk managed, right? You know, would like to be able to capitalize on a little bit more, but being selective with the trades on YM and really just waiting for what I need to have happen on the chart happen before I do anything crazy has helped me. And so far, looks like waiting today is, at least for now, playing out to be the right move, because we have not come all the way back up to VWAP. We started to get that mean reversion trade, but we didn't come all the way back up on it. Let's see. We got about 15 minutes to jolt. This zone is holding like a beast, man. That looks like buyers coming off this zone. That felt like a lot of momentum. That felt like a lot of volume. I think we bounce here. I'm not gonna take something like this, but you know, if you were someone that wants those super tight stop loss type of trades, waiting for more continuation, waiting for more of a reaction, that feels like we want to try to move the upside. Maybe you have a way to structure a trade like that. I'm not going to take something like that, but that's the inclination I have. I think we bounce here. Not the style that I want to take off the open, not where I want to stop loss, but you know, something really tight in here below this low. Why? Momentum, volume coming right off of that low. We came back down, we tested again. Sellers can't take it lower. We bounced. It was a really quick shoot in price. You could see it on, well, I didn't have YM up, but you can see it on bookmap on ES. You can see it on YM's bookmap right in here, right? But you can see it in price action. You don't even need bookmap to show you that. But it's not my trade. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how good my read of price action and structure is. If it's worth it to take trades like this. You know, let's see like what a 1-to-1 would be. I don't know that would be a 1-to-1 because this is a 15-minute. Come back up through those highs. That would be a 1-to-1. Come back up towards VWAP. Maybe it's like a 1.5. But again, I think like if you're going to take trades like this, you got to be ready to take them multiple times. Or just be ready to be stopped out and get back in. What's up? What's up? What's up? Chat, how we doing, guys? How we doing? Why I'm coming down to our area? Yes, yes, yes. What's up, you good people? Yo, Wolf. What's up, Wolf? What's up, Dwayne? Up 450 on micros. I think I'm gonna lock myself out of my eval. Nice. Very nice. Awesome, Mike. Yeah, buyers are owning that. The volume footprint. Yeah. Yeah, they're trying it. Like, we come down through this level now, guys. I don't know that I would want this long. I think I might be coming over to NQ and start messing around on NQ. But this this looks like some defense here. But if I had to take a trade, if I had to take one, which I don't, that would be it. Looking at NQ, just again trying to display some of this this price action, candly type of deal. Yeah, there's our ATR. We said we were gonna run the ATR on, excuse me, on Nasdaq. Current value area high, current value area low, volume point of control down here. Yeah, it looks like decision time getting ready to be made on NQ. Whether we're gonna come to the upside, blast off, come back to this consolidation, this next level, or right back down here. I think we dip. I think we dip. We dip right back down here. Yeah, that little one, this little one would have given us like a 1-to-1. One and a third if you went with a really tight stop. Maybe a 1-to-1 if you went with something like this. Not my trade though. I don't like that. Don't like that. Yeah, so from here, I don't want to switch over to NQ too quickly and just start scalping away like a maniac, which I'm gonna do with you guys. I don't know that I have another one on YM coming up. I don't know that I have something clean on YM coming up. Yeah, we come up here. If the thesis is a down day, looking at the daily real quick, guys. You know, if we pull back up here and the thesis is a down day, a stop right outside of this level wouldn't be terrible. Wouldn't really be terrible. Just choppy up here, man. I don't know. I don't like it. I'm happy that I got NQ to play around with you guys on this, because I don't enjoy taking just dumb losses on this type of an account. So I'm trying to frame the next trade, but I don't know that I see it. If we come through this low, I don't want it long anymore. If we this was the mean reversion play, right? That's the movement. That's the movement off the open. Like we talked about, not enough. Didn't come down. Didn't sweep yesterday's low. Dead set to the middle of this zone, which is working like damn magic over here. But this isn't enough, given yesterday's price action. Just not enough, right? We're getting tighter and tighter. We're contracting here. So a sweep of yesterday's low, maybe a little bit lower here. I was looking for the 49 150s. That would have gotten me into something stupid aggressive for a pop back up. You know, now that we've already popped back up, if we do this, right, off the open, retest VWAP and then come lower, that's not a mean reversion trade. Now I'm fading the breakout to the downside, you know, for a complete reversal. So I don't know that I want to do that. So if we come lower, I don't know that I'm going to have a trade. And if we go higher, could go for a really aggressive short. Thesis being that we break to the downside today, that we continue lower, that we opened up to the downside, we retested VWAP, we are finding sellers, buyers held this level up, but that we may break to the downside. We could take the continuation style trade. It's kind of tight. It's kind of tight out of this without that much information, but that's probably the closest thing that I'm going to have today. Something like this. I might look for it in here, guys. I might look for it in here. You know, stop loss outside of yesterday's high to go for a you know, a break to the downside. I don't know that I love this, man. I think we could easily just come up here and mess around again, test these highs without breaking out, and that would give me a stop loss. But I think that's probably what I would need to see. Crack above VWAP and you know, maybe look for the shorts. You know, holding VWAP, I'm sure we got plenty of people that trade VWAP bounces, getting short off VWAP right here. You know, if we break through, there's going to be people probably looking for this long all the way back up through the high. You know, flipping this daily candle bullish. But that's kind of my thesis. I don't know. I don't love this one. It's been having a little bit of that this week. But actually been having a little bit of that this year, man. This is like some of it, if I get the trade off the open, is solid. Like, I love it. It's great. But some of this, once we start doing what we did do today, like, this is hard to work with. This is just not, you know, for me, you might love like this, but this is just, it's not fantastic. It's okay. The market's not always going to be fantastic. It's just about not doing anything stupid when the market's not doing anything good for you, right? It's just about kind of like sitting on your hands, staying patient. So anyway, we'll see if we crack VWAP to the upside. Let me, we can actually set an alert on TradingView. What is the level that I want to see? If we crack above like 550s, 49, 550s, I want to know about it. Now we'll set a little TradingView alert, and we'll come back over to NQ. And we'll see if we can't scalp our way to oblivion on NQ. Yeah, I still think we're coming back down to this level right out of this area. I'm looking short on this. Ooh, oh, minis. Yeah, that's aggressive. That's aggressive. Damn, son. Damn, NQ. NQ moves, man. Not for the 50K. Not if I want to make it last for more than one trade. All right, here's what I want to play with, guys. I want to do this in real time with you guys. I'm genuinely interested, so I'm gonna try to use this time with you guys that for stuff that I actually want to play with. I want to watch Bookmap here, and I want to see how quick the reactions are on Bookmap and what the price is actually printing on Bookmap relative to TradingView here during the open. I'm usually focused up and not watching discrepancies between price, but I want to see how delayed these candles are and how slow to print they are, to see if I'm really comfortable doing this on TradingView. Zach, try scalping silver. Oh yeah, we'll scalp silver. We'll scalp silver today. Wait for data at 12 minutes. Then volume to come in. Maybe trade sets up. There you go. Yeah, we do have news coming up, guys. News coming up at 10 a.m. How's your schedule of streaming, brother? Here is my schedule for streaming coming up, guys. Up top, you can see right here, we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. all the way into NYSE Open. Long streams coming up. No stream tomorrow. No stream Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No stream on Friday. Excited to try something different with you guys. It's a little bit of a byproduct of what I got coming up. I got a fun trip that I'm going on. Really some vacation that's starting right after this stream, man. Follow on IG if you want to see what I got going on. That's where I post just the normal life stuff. I don't know where else to do that. All right, so I still have to talk about Bookmap, and I have to talk about Top 1 Futures. I have not forgot those 2 questions. If those guys are still on, they're still on. If not, I'll still talk about it anyway. So I want to play with this. I'm gonna play with scalping, like with this negative risk reward right here. I'm not in an account that it's going to matter as far as trade hold time. In other accounts, this will matter. I want to see how quick the fills are. I really want to see how quick the fills are here on TradingView. And I'm curious to see like where the take profit and the stop loss goes relative to how candles are printing. I'm going to play with this for a second, guys. This is going to jack my stream up, but I'm going to play with this for a second. I know this looks ridiculous because I'm messing up my overlay, but I need to play with it real quick. Yeah, I'm going to have to go for totally different settings. I'll mess with it after the stream, but I'm going to have to play with this. I don't like the way that this displays. Let's play with some 1-to-1 scalping on this.
Order filled.
I want to see how quick these orders can actually move. I want to see how quick I can scalp on TradingView. Again, guys, this is an eval account. I'm not looking to do anything crazy at all. I really am watching P&L running now. It's so delayed. It's so delayed. I have to take profit. Man, it's so delayed. Let's do it again. Just so you know what I'm doing here, I'll talk about this a little bit. This is way more aggressive than pre-market yesterday. We're less than 30 minutes into the open. I'll talk about the stupid aggressive scalping that I'm gonna do on here. We got a little W on that one, but that's not the point of this. I'm gonna take W's and losses. I'm really trying to over-exaggerate by zooming in on the 1 minute here and watch side by side on Bookmap how these are printing, how the price is showing, and then also by taking trades where I'm entered, take profit and stop loss wise as I'm entering during fast-moving markets, and then like how the P&L is displayed and how the candle's printing, relative to another data source over here. So I really like TradingView. I love all these features. I love being able to trade off of this chart like this, but man, I don't like the way the candles print here. It's tough to deal with. It's really tough to deal with. I'll talk about reading Bookmap as well, and just playing around. But I want to just test a little bit. But I'd like to not just intentionally lose money for no reason. And I want to put enough on the line where I can actually see the P&L moving as I'm doing it. Now, let's just go for a short because I think we're going down to 750. Ready? Let's see how quick we can do it, how this thing prints. Yeah, the market order is so far off of the candle as a whole. Oh, 10 a.m. news. My bad. I'm not going to put any trade on. 10 a.m. news. 10 a.m. news. Look at how dark Bookmap got. Almost sent a news trade there, guys. 10 a.m. jolts. Sorry. As I'm really trying to display this discrepancy and kind of get the feel for it. Taking a bunch of trades. Almost sent a little news trade there. Yeah, no trade for jolts. Yeah. While this is setting up, try salvage silver. Yeah, it's fun. One silver micro is about 3 to 5 NQ minis. Yeah, cooked. Nate down 1,000 in 2 days in the XFAs, being an ass and taking trades outside of my strat. I hear you. I hear you, man. Take it easy. I know you're working with Tanner and their team, man. So I'll be talking to them. I'll be reviewing and talking to them. Do you have Bookmap? Do you have any Bookmap dedicated how to use the thing vids? Yes, I do. I have. First off, if you want to check out Bookmap, here is how you do it with a discount. I don't really yap too much as much as I should about everything that I use, guys. But if you ever have questions on it, if you ever have questions on how to get the best deal on what setup I have on it, all that type of stuff, I'm happy to talk more about it. Just please ask me in the chat, ask me in Discord. I'm partnered and affiliated with Bookmap because I love Bookmap. I use Bookmap. It's great. Do you need Bookmap to be profitable? Could I do without Bookmap? I don't know, probably. But I like it. I think it's great. If you want to check out Bookmap, there is the link. No code needed for the best current deal that they have running. How I use Bookmap is broken down. I think I have like 3 or 4 videos on it. But here's the rough idea, right? Here's the rough idea, like we just saw. Rough idea for Bookmap. If I'm gonna scalp on NQ, for example, here's what I'm looking at. Really zoomed in. We have liquidity. These are price levels, and I've just zoomed back. It's not historic. This is now all historical. Price levels. We have really a depth of market, a current order book displaying the quantity of price levels, right? At the quantity of orders at specific price levels during specific times of the market. And then all this crazy looking thing is over here is a heat map that lights up when we have a lot of orders, right? We have like 15 orders on the book right here at 24,700. We got 34 down here at 695-ish, right? You can see that in real time. This is information that you cannot technically see on a candlestick chart. Right? You can see a ton, almost everything on a candlestick chart, but you technically are not looking at a order book. You don't need Bookmap. You can look at an order book if you want. But here's how I use Bookmap. Multiple ways. But here's the basics. Number 1, I want to be aware if we have resting orders on the book, above or below price, larger than everything else relative to that day because this changes in real time. I'm interested to see what happens if we come lower. First off, these often act like magnets. Not always, but price loves to go and find liquidity. You've probably heard people talk about that. Sweeps of liquidity, targeting liquidity. This is liquidity. These are passive resting buy orders. That's what we're looking at right here. Below price. It shows sell orders, above price. Passive orders, resting orders, right? We come down into that. What do I expect to happen? And how might I trade off of this? Exactly what happened. A bounce. I would be really cautious holding through because usually either one of two things are going to happen. We're going to catch a bounce off those buy orders. Those buy orders are going to step in. They're going to get filled and we're going to bounce. If I'm scalping really aggressively, the way that you're going to see me do today, really just to test the discrepancy of like how slow TradingView prints with Tradeovate and try to display it live with you guys and just kind of how I might adjust to that. I might look to trade right off of these levels. I might look to trade with a stop loss down below, entering right as we fill or right after us filling and as we start to bounce for, you know, a couple point move to the upside like we got right here. Now, what happens oftentimes is what's happening right now, we continue to sell off. We can just as easily hammer through these buy orders. Sellers are not letting their foot off the gas. They're overweighing, right? Beating out buyers, and we're going to explore lower prices, right? We're going to drive prices lower. But for me, I really don't pay too much attention to market auction theory, right? Which is kind of, what we're talking about here. I just like to look at pattern recognition, similarly to the way that I look at a candlestick chart. Well, on YM, oftentimes I find off of the open, we go down and we test a level and then we bounce, right? On Bookmap, maybe I say, ooh, we have a big line down here, right? We have the 24,669s, right? Maybe we have an order up here. We got some orders up here, plural, 24,725s. And if we come up there, maybe I think my random thesis is that, maybe we bounce there. Maybe we at least find some sellers. If we get up there, maybe we bounce before it. Buyers can't lift those orders, and we catch, a little short to the downside, right? Maybe I'm watching these orders, which is another thing. Maybe I'm watching these orders get eaten up to the downside, which we've started to see today, right? If we zoom out, you can watch what's happening for the trading day. Maybe we're watching price, I would have to go back to find some, but maybe we're watching price come through these orders, right? We're filling these and then we're continuing lower. Maybe I say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to trade bounces off these bad boys. I'm cautious that we don't bounce. I'm cautious that, sellers are in control here. They are going to continue to eat up these buy orders to the downside. I still want to know where they are, but I think we're going to trade right through them, right? It can be useful for targets, entries, stop loss placement. There's so much more of an advanced way to describe and utilize Bookmap than I am. I really don't do Bookmap a good justice, to be honest. But I think it'd be super helpful in the stupidly simple way that I'm describing right now. I really do. And I'll try to display that with some scalping on NQ. If I'm going to scalp on NQ, like really, really aggressively, like if I had to just use Bookmap, I would trade right off of levels. I would trade to and from levels, trying to be in the direction of the trend. I wasn't doing that at all just before, as I took 2 buy orders, or a buy order. I would try to do it in the direction of the trend, or from the top end of a range to the bottom end, or the bottom end to the to the top end. But really just to and from areas of interest on Bookmap, right? Levels that are getting filled. But yeah, I have like multiple videos on it. Cumulative volume delta, it's another cool tool down here. ES, it's a lot different looking. I think ES is a lot slower. ES is a lot slower moving market. Not that I think. It's also just an easier to read Bookmap. It just seems to be bigger orders. It's a thicker book in general, meaning in general there are more orders resting on the book at any given time. The big stacks of orders get lit up a lot cleaner. NQ being really fast moving and having kind of orders come on and off all over the place can be a little bit difficult to deal with. But yeah, that's some of the basics. That's some of the basics. Cumulative volume delta, the difference between buy and sellers by way of volume anchored to a specific point in time, can also be useful throughout the trading session. Can be useful even as you're zoomed in like this to kind of see what's going on. But I think it's important to use it in conjunction with a candlestick chart, right? Like, okay, maybe I say, okay, well, I want to long off of this, I want to long off of this, right? But where is this on the candlestick chart? Well, it's at a major low. Maybe I think if we break, today's current session low, that we could really find some buyers and move to the downside, right? Maybe I want to be cautious, getting long right off that level. Maybe I want to wait to see what happens after we, potentially fill that. Maybe I think we're going to bounce before it. Maybe I think buyers aren't going to be able to lift this, which is kind of what I think right now. And I think we're going to trade through what would be a potential take profit had I hit buy right here. But yeah, a little bit of an overview. A little bit of an overview of Bookmap. I think really the key piece to using Bookmap well, let's see if we catch a little bit of a bounce right back up, or if we just rip our face off to the downside. Oh, what a big surprise. We caught a little bit of a bounce back up there. Wow, magic, right? No, Bookmap moves differently on every day, just like everything else moves differently on every day. The markets are very dynamic. I think a lot of skill is built with Bookmap, like I talk about a lot, in discretion, in experience, in watching something play out over and over and over and over and over again for hours through different cycles of the market, different context, and then start to utilize it in your trading. I think if you're going to watch Bookmap, it's something you have to do for a long period of time before you're really ever going to be able to use it successfully in your trading, before it's going to help you. I think that's kind of like everything in trading. You know, before you're going to really be able to utilize it effectively, you're going to have to spend some time on it. You're going to have to get comfortable with how it moves. Again, you could say, hey, Zach, you don't need Bookmap to tell you that a sweep of the low is going to have liquidity down there. You know, we don't need to know that there's passive buy orders. You could have bought right there as you were waiting for that level to get hit and then catch a beautiful bounce to the upside. Maybe you like Bookmap. Maybe you want Bookmap to tell you that. I don't know, right? Here's what we were watching to the downside right here. 24,650, had a bunch of orders on it. Sorry for having that move around. That was our Bookmap level right there. And what did we catch if we were scalping on that? Maybe this is helpful to you. Yeah, almost 200 ticks to the upside, right? Almost 50 points to the upside right there, right? Again, if you watch Bookmap for long enough, that won't happen, right? It's not always going to happen. We'll come right through that, and we will effing knife to the downside, right? Market can do whatever it wants all the time. Like, same way with price action and tools and indicators and anything you're going to use, market's going to do whatever it wants. Maybe, ever so slightly, one thing plays out over another. But I think it can be helpful. I think there's a reason you see a lot of traders, you know, utilize Bookmap and other order flow tools. So if you want to check it out, link is in the chat. All right, let's take some trades using Bookmap. Let's go for it. Quick check in on YM. Hitting my initial mean reversion style trade level to the downside. We didn't do this off the open. I'm not gonna fade that now. Not gonna fade that right now, chat. But we'll see. We'll see how this level comes into play. We'll see how this level comes into play. Let's see what we can do on NQ. I want to take at least a few more trades, you know, for better, for worse, for wins or for losses, because I really want to test myself, honestly, and I don't mind to display it with you guys. The slow moving candles on TradingView, for lack of a better term. But let's see if we can't use Bookmap maybe to catch a little bit of a bouncy here, a little bit of a bouncy bounce here. Yeah, maybe we check out 24,600s. I think if we go and fill 24,600s, we catch a small bounce to the upside. I'm going to wait to see if we trade down here and maybe look to try to enter during some aggressive selling pressure right here.
Order filled.
Let's see. Let's see if we get any kind of reaction off of this level. That was a smooth fill. That was a really smooth fill. This one was really, really clean. Filled clean. It was kind of slow moving right at this level. We consolidated a little bit, so not a really great test. Again, guys, I'm scalping like an absolute maniac. Here on NQ, I'm trading aggressively counter to this trend right here. I am in an eval account logged in through Tradeovate. I fully expect to take wins and losses back and forth today, but I really do want to get some trades on and watch them play out with P&L running. I don't want to do it just with one micro. I kind of want to watch this stuff play out in real time, just to see what this candle printing situation on TradingView really looks like. I'm actually gonna try to watch this as well on I'm gonna try to watch this as well on Tradeovate at the same time. Yeah, Tradeovate's smooth with it. Those candles are buttery smooth on Tradeovate. curious to see how this goes. I'm going to, I have Trade pulled up, guys. I'm going to exit this order on Trade I just want to see how quickly it gets me out on TradingView.
Stop filled.
Oh, I hit a stop before I actually got to click the button. Nice. Couple wins, couple losses. For all of the random back and forth scalping that I've been doing, I'm $215 in profit. But that was a pretty clean fill. Let's see. I think we trade down towards the 500s. Let's get some higher time frame views on here, though, so we don't just get completely cooked. Let's get some higher time frame view on here. Selling off aggressively so far here on NQ. I'd like to take one right off this 50 again. I'm going to do it. Ah, we didn't quite get it. We didn't quite get it. That was the bounce that was the very small bounce that I was looking for to start to come into play. All right, let's look at this. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting spot on the chart right here, man. I think we either come lower, we head all the way down here. Yeah, we can come a little bit lower. We could trade all the way into the 450s today. That was some of the bounce that I was looking at off of these 550s, but too little, too late on that one. That's kind of an interesting spot. That's kind of an interesting level right there. This would be interesting level number 2 to the upside if we started to bounce, like much more zoomed out on the 1 hour. If we came lower, where do I really think we're going? In place of zones, guys, I'm going to use just a couple lines in the chart to get it done quick. Price action, market structure, and volume to mark these up. Let's see. Get the order card back up. Watch these markets, man. Take some more fun trades. Whoa. Got some tunes going today. Chat. How we doing, guys? We're at the last 4-hour swing low right now. Yep. Looks super chaotic for my newbie status. Yeah, order flow is a little aggressive. 10:18, guys. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm just gonna take a quick break. I am going on 3 hours on stream, so as much as I like to be not a human person, I'm a human person. So I gotta grab some water. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Leave this market up so we can check it out. Let me go ahead and mute myself first, and then try. All right, back in action with you guys here, man. Let's take some scalpy trades. Let's see if we can't do some more testing. I talked a lot about, trading more momentum coming into this year. Just was thinking about this as I was stepping out. Trading more momentum coming into this year. It's not really what I'm doing here as much as just scalping like a psychopath, which in general can be a tough way to trade. If we start to have those really fast moves in the US indices, where, for example, we're watching NQ here on the low time frames, I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do. I'm going to show you what I'm working on. Sell aggressively into selling pressure, add in, these types of moves, right? We haven't really had that much. I think we could break at one point to the downside here. I don't know if that comes today, but it's not really what I'm working on just yet. Today we can play around with scalp and book map, right? Whoa. Scalp and book map, right? Catch a little bit of a bounce off of something like this, right? And we come into the 600s, and then maybe we catch, 5-10 points to the upside. Take a look at that, nice bounce, 25 points to the upside. Small stuff like that, right? We can take a look at on book map, which is what I would have to do if you said you have to take a bunch of trades because you want to test out TradingView and Trade Evade and display sometimes the lag that we see, and also what it would look like really aggressively scalping with take profits and stop losses getting entered as brackets. But I appreciate you guys hopping on. As always, man, if you're new, welcome to the show. We're here live. Coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 100% free live trading. No course, no VIP, no mentorship. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Links at the top of the chat to my socials, my Instagram, where I post a whole bunch. Giveaways on stream almost every damn day for instant funded accounts. And we got something big coming on Tuesday of next week. You're not going to want to miss this one. Not going to want to miss this one, guys. I can't always say what it is. It's not always confirmed, but I got a really good feeling we got something fun coming for Tuesday of next week. Chopping around here in a little bit of a range on NQ. Let's take some scalpy trades, man. Let's take some scalpy style trades. I'm gonna work with this 100 tick. Let's work with let's work with just a 1-to-1 for now. Let's see what we could do. 100 ticks being a little over 2 times the current ATR. I don't think it's too bad to be working with here. See if we get a little crack of this level. We get a little bit of fill of this liquidity to the downside here. I think we either blast immediately to this next level of liquidity, or we catch some buyers. Maybe they can't lift it. Let's see.
Order filled.
I'm going to go for it right here. See if we can't catch a little bounce back up. I think we either pull up a little bit, maybe give me a take profit, or we really aggressively sell right off to these 24 550s. Not quite the immediate bounce just yet. My take profit's going to be somewhere up here. Stop loss to break even on these little scalpy trades can be fun. But again, what I'm watching really here right now, guys, is P&L, right? Like how that candle prints. I don't like it, man. I got to be honest. I love TradingView. This is tough. I love TradingView. I don't like a Trade Evade chart. I really don't. But man, it is so slow moving. It is so slow moving. This is what I wanted to check out. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this on this trade. I'm going to get out of this on
Order filled.
So will it let me get out of orders? Will it let me get out of orders? That was another take profit hit. Hold on one second. Let me take another trade. What I want to test is I know you can do this. If I entered on TradingView, for example, you guys would know this. But if I entered on TradingView, for example, am I able to, let's say, manage the trade on Tradeovate, like close out of it, get rid of a take profit order, for example, or a stop loss order, or add one in, and then have it also display on TradingView. Like, obviously you can trade straight from TradingView. Does what you do on Tradeovate show up on TradingView? And I'm sure it does, but let me just see, actually. Like, just out of complete curiosity. Like, I'm gonna set a limit, a sell limit on Tradeovate and see if it pops up. Yeah, it does pop up, and then I can get rid of that over here by hitting exit market and cancel all. Cool. Okay. Interesting though. So just so you guys know what I'm doing, right? Like, how does that pop up here? I have Tradeovate pulled up on a second screen. I can't show that many screens, but I have Tradeovate pulled up on a second screen where I can open and close orders, and that's helpful. That's helpful to know about. Cool. But yeah, man. So getting back to this point, I love TradingView. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have to chart on TradingView, and then maybe trade directly from a Tradeovate chart. It's just so backwards to do that. I really don't love the way that these candles print. I just don't. Again, I'm not usually this zoomed in, and on the 15-minute, for example, on YM, if we come back over to it, it's not going to be that bad, right? It's not going to be that bad comparing these two. You know, wow, YM selling off pretty aggressively. Like, it's definitely not going to be as noticeable on a 15-minute chart the way that YM is moving around. You know, probably not going to bother me that much. But for some of the more aggressive guys and girls out there, it could be a little bit slow. Could be a lot to deal with. Yeah. Like, just out of curiosity, not that I want to do too many dumb things today. Just be faster, bro. Like, what is this? What is this? Just be faster. Pin the market order to the price. And also, like, just print a little bit faster. What the HE double hockey stick, since I can't curse on YouTube live? Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't love that. I love TradingView, obviously. Like, this is the bread and butter. I'm born and raised on TradingView. I love a TradingView chart. The trading on TradingView itself, I'm going to keep playing with it and see how much it's really going to bother me. That's what I think. And maybe I'll have to figure something else out. I don't know. I don't know. Interesting. If you cancel, so like if you close out, for example, and then you go back really quickly and you want to hit buy, you also do have to turn take profit and stop loss back on. Or you have to drag it out again. If I hit buy, I have to drag them out again. Whoa. Chat. Anyway. Playing around on TradingView. Let's see if we can get a little bit of profit in this count. Should we focus up? Let's focus up. Be faster. LMAO. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolute huge lag. Little one successful trade easily pays for the year of live data. Yeah, this is live data. This is live data, real Danny boy. What I'm talking about is just the way that TradingView functions. I have the paid version. I have the highest paid version of TradingView outside of being the professional subscriber. I just don't feel the need to do that, or whatever the pro accounts are. And then being logged in from a Tradeovate prop firm gives you real-time market data, or you could buy it, which I've also done in the past just to check. but I can't get that to go away. Do you have any other info on like how you would be able to get TradingView to display faster data? Because I don't want to sound like a know-it-all. I don't. I've tried, but maybe, you know, sometimes like internet's got like this crazy like back-end way. Like, yeah, you have to use the dashboard. You have to use the like desktop version, and then you have to like log in and like, I don't know, some weird thing where these candles print fast. But I have not been able to figure that out. But yeah, as you can see on my chart, I have real-time data across multiple different assets, as well as paid subscriptions across multiple different platforms. So yeah, so CME data is an extra subscription in TradingView, right? Real boy Danny, but this is, maybe you're not aware of this. You don't have to pay for CME data if you log in with a prop firm where you get CME data as part of the prop firm account. It displays in real time. So for this example, I'm logged in with a Trade of 8 prop account with real-time data, so it displays. Lag is about 800 milliseconds on trades. Yeah, there you go. Just not lightning fast. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we have the real-time data showing, but that's the lag that I'm talking about. Not 5 minutes. It's not delayed market data. Like that would show, I think it would show right here. It would show like some kind of like little like half moon and show, yeah, I didn't know that about the prop firms. Yeah, you don't have to pay like whatever it is, like the $7 or $4 or $10, however much it is. I do pay for that for a couple of different instruments, just, you know, just to be transparent, but you don't have to pay for that for CME data if you don't want, like if you have a live account. Also, for the record, I'm just going to go a little bit further and then I'll wrap this point up. I've also paid for data in a personal brokerage account, separate from prop firms completely, just to test this. Paid for it with CQG and logged in to Trade of 8, to TradingView, the same way that I am now, directly from my live broker, and it does not do anything different. It doesn't, you know, it's not like, because I thought, okay, well, the prop firms lag, like the prop firm data sucks, or like the paid data sucks, but if I get CQG from a live account, like then it will print differently. It will show me, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So, you know, that's my thoughts on it. But again, you know, we all have to make our decisions, right? You have to decide what's good for you. Like, you know, these are small nuanced things. Like, this is not that big of a deal, but like, this is a game of inches. Trading is a game of literal inches. You know, we're stopped out by ticks. We're take profits are missed by ticks, and our discretion and intuition comes from watching candlesticks print, volume print. At least some of mine does, right? What I'm applying to my trading decisions. And so if that changes ever so slightly, like that's important. That's important. You know, how big of a change is this going to make over a large sample size? You know, it's out for debate, but it's worth noting. It's worth talking about. You know, my other option here with prop firms is just a raw Trade of 8 platform to trade off of. The chart is completely different. The candles are buttery smooth. So, you know, maybe it's charting on, I don't know, maybe it's charting on TradingView and entering and exiting on Trade of 8. I'm not really sure, guys, but you're watching me figure it out and test it and give you my thoughts in real time. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, yeah, that's the thoughts. 10:30, we got initial balance high and low here. Looks like we're gonna crack it and maybe come right back in. I'm interested to see what happens around these 50s that we haven't been able to touch, which is, yeah, right below this low. Right below this low. Looks like we want to continue to push this to the downside. Curious to see if we fill this wick back in and then continue lower. I don't mean to be taking buys on a straight knife to the downside, but I can really play around if I'm going to go with this super tight take profit and stop loss. Yeah, any other good questions, guys? Feel free to throw them in the chat. Just close. Otherwise, I'll just focus up. We'll scalp for a little bit. See if we can't put a little bit of profit. We'll display what this looks like on TradingView. We'll display the P&L running, the kind of laggy candles. Just closed my first short chart. Shared in Discord. Funded account is now out of drawdown. Let's go. HDO King. Let's run it. Let's run it, man. Run it. Massive leg scalping though, yeah. Comes across, it'll show on trading view. Trading view is goaded. Yeah, trading view only legs if you. Oh, okay, we were talking about that already. We got through that. I need an account. Well, hang out. You might win one. We're gonna do a giveaway in a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So let's see what happens down here, guys. We'll take a couple more trades. Take a couple more scalps. And then we'll get somebody funded. We'll run some ducks. Yeah, ducks are coming, guys. Ducks are coming. I think we go and we crack these 50s. I think we go and crack these 50s. Interesting to see on YM. Aggressive movement to the downside. It moves as a bracket. That's interesting. It moves as a bracket because I messed with it over here. Whoa, not 1,000. Yeah, looks like we want to pop to the upside maybe before coming lower. I may look to fade this up here. So I think we come back down and we go in and we maybe grab some liquidity off these lows. But first, I think we wick up here. We got anything up above? Oh, that was slow as all hell. That was my fault. That was a trash fill. I had clicked off the screen, so I had to click the button 2 times, but that was a super duper slow fill on the short. Really ugly. That should have been a fill right in here to put a pretty nice difference in the entry point and take profit and stop loss. For a quick move back down into this range after wicking above these highs right here, I think we can come all the way down to these 50s, but I'm not gonna change this up now. I'll take the L on it and move on.
Stop fill.
There we go. And we're not doing it just yet. Cracking to the upside. 225 bucks in profit still in this account. Yeah, choppy down here, man. I think we break to the downside. Maybe that's the sweep of the highs before a little move in. If we trade through these 700s, I'm gonna take it again. Watching book map, watching a little bit of volume up here. Take some scalpy trades on NQ here with you guys. That last one was, as far as the fill timing, that was just me not moving fast enough. Yeah, nice wick above these highs and then move back in. That would have been pretty clean. I was looking for it right in here. Right up here would have been clean. All right, I'm gonna chill out on this. I'm not enticed by this little price action down here, and I don't feel like just scalping away and ending break even after 20 trades. I think you guys know what time it's about to be. It's about to be. Let me get the form up. Somebody let them know in chat. What are we about to run? What are we about to run? Someone let him know. Chatty McChat. I think you guys know. Ducks. Let's see. Chatty McChat. If you want in to what we're about to run, I'm going to send it in the chat right now so you guys have some time. Hop into the 100% free trading Discord. Link is in the chat. If you are on X, I appreciate you being here. I can't communicate with you without physically pulling up X itself and typing in its own chat and all that type of stuff. Link is in my bio if you want to check out the free Discord and the giveaway, because it's giveaway time, guys. We are going to run a giveaway for a 50K Ignite instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. Link is getting posted right now in the main chat. Go ahead and get this one filled out if you want a shot to win a 50K instant funded account. I'm going to give you guys about, let's say 3 or 4 minutes. I'll give you guys about 3 or 4 minutes. Let's say 10:47. We'll make it all right. We'll make it 10:47 a.m. Eastern. We're going to close this form out. Go ahead and get it filled out. Giveaway form is live in Discord. Let's see. Go ahead and get it filled out, guys. Looks like we have responses rolling in, so the form is active. Appreciate you guys for hopping on, man. Not a bad one. Ending in a little bit of profit after scalping like a maniac, taking a whole bunch of crazy trades. We got to run through connecting Tradeovate to TradingView, trading on TradingView with a Tradeovate prop account, different order types, what you can and can't do, stop losses, dragging out, different settings. And then maybe you guys didn't enjoy as much the zooming in on the candles and taking trades to try to really get a feel for how laggy these things are. But it's something that I want to do more of and really, am weighing in my decision on what platform I'm primarily going to be looking at. Now that Project X is taken away from all prop firms except for Top Step. So, we do have to make some adjustments. So maybe you found that valuable as well. I don't know. Also talked a little bit about Bookmap. We talked a little bit about Top 1 Futures. Yeah, man. Oh, let's talk about Top 1 Futures. Hang on. Because it's giveaway time. But because somebody asked me what my favorite accounts were, what accounts would I recommend. I'm sure he's not on here anymore, but we can talk about it. Here's what we got, chat. This is the Top 1 Futures website. Remember, I'm going to say it at the front end. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated. I stand to make money. Can't be unbiased because I stand to make money. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. Now, as you can see on here, they got a pretty nice code for 40% off. I got a code for 60% off. Code RDF gets you 60% off. These accounts that I'm displaying right here, right now, are my preferred accounts. These are the instant funded accounts. These are the wider rule set, more dollar amount. They cost more money, but wider rule set, wider consistency rule, wider payout amount. If I go back to Sim, which I'm sure I will have to at some point, I don't know that I'll just be in a live account for forever. These are the accounts that I would personally trade. This is the account that I traded. Accounts that I traded to get into the live account that I've had the best success with. Other options they have here: instant funded, Ignite instant funded, excuse me, because they're all similar. Ignite instant funded. These are the cheapest instant funded prop accounts. The 50K account is under $200 with code RDF for your first or next account. These have a really solid end of day trailing drawdown, tighter consistency rule, tighter payout cap. Also, a easier to hit profit target, which is pretty sweet. But if you are a beginner or somebody maybe who just doesn't want to put a lot of capital up, you still want to use an instant funded account, you're okay with some of those trade-offs, that might be an awesome option for you. These bad boys, last but not least, these straight to funded Sim Pro accounts. These are the biggest scalers, the highest payout accounts. They are now allowing up to 15. You can copy trade 15 of these bad boys. You can work yourself towards a massive payout. These are lower cost, harder rule set. They have an intraday trailing drawdown right on here. You can see it. They have a tighter consistency style score called the equity stability score. These are tighter, harder to work with, but they do have one of the biggest payouts that you could take out of all, by far the biggest payouts you could take out of all of these, comes with the territory, right? If you're going to go for something that maybe is easier to get paid out, lesser dollar amount up front, more dollar amount up front, maybe you're going to go for something that's, much cheaper, bigger payout opportunity, harder account to trade, right? Kind of think of like maybe, some prop firms, other prop firms out there without doing too many comparisons. But yeah, I think these are an absolute solid option. This is one of the best instant funded accounts industry-wide, in my humble opinion. End of day trailing drawdown, no intraday trailing drawdown, no unrealized drawdown, right? Nice wide max loss limits, nice wide daily loss limits, nice wide consistency score, standard consistency score, no minimum trading days to pay out, no minimum profitable trading days to pay out. You can copy trade up to 5 of the 50Ks, 3 of the 150Ks, reasonable profit targets, and really solid amount that you're able to pull out from the account if you hit it. So for example, in the 50K account, $2,000 max loss limit, if you put up $3,000 of profit, meeting the 20% consistency score over 5 trading days, right? Because it's the fastest you could do it. You could pull out $2,500 from $3,000 with a very inexpensive upfront cost, in my humble biased opinion, compared against the competition. Check this stuff out for yourself. That's the stuff that I would look at. But it depends, right? All of these, if any of these are a good opportunity for you, it's going to depend on you, your skill level, your capital allocation, your experience. Whether or not Top 1 Futures as a whole is good for you is going to depend on these things as well, right? You might say, eval account, I want to take those first for a, wider rule set in funded. You might like something different. So those are the notes. All right, guys, we had the forum up for a while here. We are done accepting responses for the giveaway form. Let's go ahead and run the ducks. Run the ducks. Shout out to you guys hanging out with me on stream, man. These have been fun. This is, it's like a 3.5 hour stream, man. Been fun. Starting early. If you guys missed it, if you hopped on late, because obviously everybody's on here now for the giveaway. As always, I get the big bump at the end for everybody hopping on for the giveaway. I'm appreciating you guys being here no matter what. Live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. No live tomorrow. No live on Monday. 7:30 a.m. Eastern start time all the way through NYSE Open, like we are running this one from 7:30 to 11 or 11:30 a.m. 3.5, 4 hour streams, man. It's going to be fun. We're getting more trading in, scalping away. I'm excited for Tuesday. We got something big coming on Tuesday. Don't miss Tuesday's stream. I said it before. We got something big coming on Tuesday. If you like free stuff, if you like discounts, if you like giveaways, if you like hearing from CEOs, founders of prop firms and allowing them to hear your voice, your opinion, you might not want to miss Tuesday. That's as much as I'm going to say about it, man. Past Tuesday, I don't have a whole bunch of guests coming on stream, but I am excited to get more focused up on what I'm trying to start to work on here with you guys, which is higher frequency scalping. Getting really aggressive. Some of the stuff that you saw today, getting really aggressive, finding the platform that's going to work for me to get comfortable doing that, and hammering it. Going on what the kids call a generational run in prop firms. Trying to display an efficient use of time with prop firms relative to, my opinion of what that is. But in the meantime, we have the ducks in a row. Hang on, guys. We got the ducks lined up. Let's see. Oh, nice. This person was still here. Awesome. Ducks, let's go. Okay, halfway through eval, locked out. Nice. Yeah, we're gonna put some profit up in some evals and funded accounts, or we're gonna blow them on stream coming up, guys. Get ready. Today was timid because we're scalping away, just checking some different stuff out, doing some examples. Finally got my trade of the day, long from 640, done for the day. Beautiful. Dear Zach, what's changing fundamentally as everything in deep correction mode? Indices, cryptos, and metal. Not much, man. Not much. If you're asking, you're asking me what's changed fundamentally in the markets where we have a big sell-off going. I'm not even gonna try to field that question. I'm really not. I'm not gonna pretend to be the fundamental trader. So, good luck, everybody. Let's go ahead. I thought I actually clicked this. Let's go ahead and run it. This is for an Ignite instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. If you enjoyed this stream here, guys, feel free, hit the like button, hit subscribe. I appreciate you guys hopping on. We have more people than we have likes. We have way more people on these streams than I have subscribers. You don't have to do anything, man. Do whatever you want to do. I don't need your subscription. I don't need your like button. But you know what? I appreciate it. It helps me get out of social media jail that I may or may not have started to put myself in because I was cursing too much on in my content. So if you want to help me out by clicking a button, great. If not, if that's a big ask for you, it's cool, man. I'm still going to be here streaming live, free, showing you what trading looks like for me, giving out accounts, having fun with you. Two minutes on the clock. Let's see who is going to be walking away with an instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. Minute 30 seconds to go. Let's check the markets real quick, just see what we had going on. I don't know that we didn't break that low. Didn't break the RB low that's gonna be set down here. Interesting. Let's see. Oh, let's see what we got. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this in chat as well, guys. If you, I'm gonna be off the desk again. No stream obviously tomorrow and Monday. No stream Friday and Monday. We're streaming live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. If you want to see what I got going on off of the desk, Instagram is the spot that I post most of that. Maybe you don't care about any of that and you just care about trading, and that's totally cool. If you want to see what I got going on, I post a ton to IG stories. I also post a ton of just unique content to Instagram and here on YouTube as well. Feel free to follow me on there. You'll see the trip I got coming up. You'll see some fun stuff I got going on. You can see where some of the fruits of this labor is spent. So maybe that's motivation for you. Maybe it's just a distraction. I don't know. You can decide that for yourself. But if you want to see what I got going on, IG over the next 4 days. Ham Tony out front. Adam Daz on the bottom. D-Net looking strong in the middle. Funded. Who is this up top? The Clown Duck. Quantum FT. Oh, this is a tight pack coming into the finish. I don't even know who's in front. I can't even tell you. Whose name is this? Devirez. Devirez? D-E-V-R-I-E-S. Let's see who this is. Devirez, are you in chat? I don't think I know who this is, so I can't give you the grace of saying you are a Discord OG. Where are you at in chat? It looks like that is also your YouTube username. We got W's in chat, but like we have on the form, on the display, you gotta be here to claim it. Where are you at in chat, my man? You gotta say what's up. Looks like you gave me a YouTube username. So we're gonna give this gentleman 3 minutes. We're gonna put 3 minutes on the clock. It is 10:56. Let's go for 11 a.m. Eastern. You gotta say what's up in the chat. And I will even make sure that, just in case for some reason you're not subscribed and you can't chat because you are not subscribed, that I make sure that that's not on. It is. There you go. Where are you at, my man? Where are you at? Remember, guys, you got to be here to claim it in the chat to claim the W. That's part of me knowing that you didn't spam the form. 3 minutes on the clock, 11 a.m. Eastern. We will rerun it if we don't get the shout out from this gentleman. I'll just go ahead and double check that he's not on any other platform, but I don't see him. I don't see him just yet. I don't know, guys. We might be going for a rerun. We might be going for a rerun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. DeVeers, where are you at, my man? Where are you at, my man? Let's see. Let's see. No one's claiming. Okay, I'm the guy. One more. Rerun. Like I said, 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock. We're running again. And remember, let me say it right now. Let me say it right now, guys. I had a day. I'm going to say this until 11 a.m. because this person has 2 minutes. I had a day where I have clear rules for the giveaway, right? It's on the forum. It's on the giveaway thing that I display right here, right? Must be in the live chat to claim the win, right? I had a day where I reran the thing like 4 times. And then everybody popped back up out of the woodwork and said, oh, no, I was there. And you know what I did? I gave everybody the free accounts. I gave way more accounts than I should have. But I made it really clear on the next live session, end in Discord, end here on the forums, that you have to be in the live session. I don't know how you're getting the form if you're not in the live session. So, in this instance, coming up on 11 a.m., we're going to run it. Part of the game, man. Part of the game. Also, make sure you guys are live, so just in case you're watching like from behind, that you actually are here to grab it. But let's run it, guys. I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's go ahead and run it. Round 2. 3 minutes on the clock. No opening the form up again. Round 2, man. We're gonna get somebody else funded. We'll run it. Oh no! Oh, wait a minute. He's here. Oh shit, man. All right, I already started the race. Wait a minute. I was watching the chat. I was literally watching the chat. Hold on. When were you here? Damn it, man. All right. Race is on. Guess what, guys? We're doing another giveaway. Javirez, who you won the first one, you're here in chat. Hold on one second. All right, bro. I'm gonna check you. I think you're going to get the account. I think you're going to get the account. I see that you replied. I think you're going to get the account. I'm going to have to double check where you're from and where that YouTube username is from, because it's a different YouTube username that you put down on the form. But you're going to get the account. If you won and you were here, you're going to get the account. No worries. He answered before I clicked the button. I came over to the chat. Don't worry, guys. Guess what? This race is still on. We're going to get 2 people funded today. Round 2. I don't know. Maybe we'll just run duck races into the afternoon. We'll just run them all day. I've been on stream for too long. It's 3.5 hours in. We're just going to run duck races now. Don't sweat it, man. Don't sweat it, DeVirez. If you won and you were legit, I'm going to make sure you get funded. Here's the deal. I'm putting 3 minutes. What did I say in Discord? Hold on. What did I really say in Discord? Let me go back to it. Let me actually see. I said 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock. So as soon as the race ends, I'm starting a 3-minute timer so we can be very exact. This is what I went back and said when I tagged everybody, when I announced it. 3 minutes to claim it. That's what we're going to throw on. This way, nobody argues, and I will watch the chat. Don't worry. Don't worry. Nobody sweat it. Everybody that wins, that follows the instructions, gets the accounts. I have to have some rules in here, guys, because everybody spams the form. They send it to their mother and their brother. You know, I got to have some kind of qualifications. But anyway, 30 seconds to go. Let's see who the second person is who's going to win an instant funded account today, since I was too quick on that one. 3 minutes is the deal. The stream is live. It's your responsibility to make sure the stream is actually live. You got to be here in the chat once we start running the races. If you fill the form out, I'm assuming you're here in the live stream. If you're not here, you know, that's the deal. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all the suggestions. Thank you. But that's what I'm going to stick to. This, you know, I get to, I don't make a lot of rules, but I have to make a little bit of rules. These are the rules that I'm making. 10 seconds to go. Time pass score up top. Pro Trader. Anna down on the bottom. Grandpa Duck coming out of nowhere. Fahad taking the win. F-A-H-A-D. This is another name that I don't know. 3 minutes on the clock. It is 11:02 and 20 seconds. You have 3 minutes to say what's up in the chat. Let me see where you are in. Yeah, we're going to have fun here. F-A-H-A-D. That should be your YouTube username. That's what you put down for your YouTube username. So, let's see, my man. In the chat. Fahad. Guys, let me ask you a question. All right, you're claiming this one. We got a W in the chat. He's here. Why? Okay, no, that's your actual YouTube username. I see. That's your YouTube username. YouTube puts your actual @ in the live chat. W's in the chat. We got 2 winners today. I'm going to make sure everything's kosher. W Fahad taking the win on the second one. We're not going to keep running up today, guys. We're going to go 2 and done. I appreciate you guys hopping on. Thank you for being here. Quick reminders before we go anywhere, but don't go anywhere just yet, guys. One thing, first things first. If you like giveaways, if you like free stuff, if you like the opportunity to get discounts, if you like free things and better discounts, I don't know. Maybe you want to hop on the live stream on Tuesday. We might have one of the founders of Top 1 Futures back on the live stream, Clay. And the last time he was on, and the time before that, he gave away 10 Ignite instant funded accounts. We ran 10 duck races. I actually ran 11 on the Christmas one. I didn't realize I ran 11, but I got 11 people funded. Feel free to hop on. If you guys enjoyed the stream, feel free to hit like and subscribe. If you want to hop in the 100% free trading Discord, link is at the top. Look at the change, guys. No stream tomorrow, no stream on Monday. We are live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, starting at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for being here. Fun session. Quick reminder, quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if funded prop from accounts and the affiliate partnership disclaimer, this is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures code, RDF, Bookmap, and others. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for being here, guys. Have an awesome rest of the trading day. Have an awesome weekend. I will see you guys trading here back live Tuesday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern next week. Talk to you guys in Discord.